of a tree or shrub, you know, and you
get to sit
and
next
you
to
grow
each
another one. It's a clone of that plant.
Oh my God, that microphone actually picks up your voice now.
Well, that's because I'm being loud right now. I'm not being Willa.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Willa's kind of gotten louder over the time.
Well, she's becoming more irritated with it.
She needs to
And
laugh
learning-
like this too. No, not that. No, because that really
You
pierces
told
my
her
ear.
to.
It feels
My
like
bowels just evacuated.
it
I
feels
used
like
to
someone's
practice my
putting an
laugh when I
ice
was
pick into
younger.
my ear. And that's it. That's good. Just like oh. Lower.
She has boobs. I don't think she could go lower.
Hey, they can do anything that anyone else can do, including talk low. There you go.
Sorry, I have to go like this.
Oh my God, it's Monday.
If you
It's
put your chin
Monday.
to your chest, you can speak lower normally. I know I have a really high pitched voice, so I gotta go. If I do a lower voice, I have to go. What's
The
going on?
acoustics in this room are so much better. I mean, we're all a million miles away from our microphones now, and they pick up everything so much
Let's
better.
not go blowing each other just now. Let's wait and see
Oh,
how it works.
I'll blow myself all day. It don't bother me none.
Let's wait.
But
and
and
see
I've
how
already
this-
had Cesare
and-
sit in on a couple sessions, so
And no
Okay.
speakers going.
Yeah, right.
and this guy, I don't know what caused that. That was weird.
Did you get a new speaker?
No, same one.
Same one?
Yeah,
It must have been the
I
proximity
think there was
of all the
prob-
phones or something.
maybe, or there was a sconch of dust on the internal speaker
Should I tell
somewhere.
somebody
and,
DoorDash is going to come here?
Probably
MJ would know.
Mercy's up.
What's that?
The receptionist is up there.
Okay.
Okay, so I got names here. I don't know who Cade is, only that she's the sister of
Cathari.
Cathari. I don't know why she's
And Cathari and Cade are the cousins of the main halfling that introduced himself.
Adrian.
That would have been
Adrian, the leader, right?
no. That
Is
was
this a different campaign?
That was Heron. Heron. Harrin. Adele's the leader of the Backcut gang.
But who's Hadrian, and why do I have Hadrian here? I've literally written Hadrian here.
My R's
Was
might
that the
sound
guy
like a
that
D.
No, it's
Hadrian, isn't that a wall that we have to go and visit?
That's a Fort Hadrian.
Fort
No.
Hadrian?
I have
You
written
probably
Hadrian.
thought my R's were a D.
Okay. Can you rewrite, respell it so I can spell it?
HARRIN.
What is going on? Is someone going to order? Is someone
RRIN.
What's that?
I don't know. Now I think the Shawarma City wants me to pick up my freaking order. I don't understand what's going on with this stupid thing. I swear to God.
You ordered food?
Yeah.
The bracelet's owner.
But I don't see where it's
He was the
Same as
hired
shit.
thief.
Huh?
He was the hired thief.
Hadrian?
Yeah.
No, you're
No?
thinking of Lindarian.
Oh.
It's the hired thief.
Okay.
What's the name of Sephora's pimp?
Well, I had
Why
it
are
here
you guys
written
gonna pick on
wrong, I
me?
guess.
Didn't he like make a fake name up for you? So you like Mr. Smith or something like that? Like Roberts? I think your pimp's name is Roberts. Oh, I have a new person joining our Tuesday game. Did the DoorDash person maybe cancel the order? They do that sometimes.
If you tell them that they can listen into our D&D game, maybe they'll get here.
no, it shows everything, but I don't
I'm sure where they're at.
It shows they're 11 minutes away.
know. Yeah, that's I don't know. What
That
this-
looks like us.
Yeah, but what?
Maybe they're confused because they're used to going to houses and it's telling them to go to a business.
No.
They shouldn't be.
No, that shouldn't
We do
matter.
that shit all the time.
Because, we had a guy.
We get
at
DoorDash
work
here all
that
the
used to
time.
have people deliver his stuff all the time.
Because people who are working can't leave their work. And so
Are you
they,
suggesting people with businesses are people that need to eat them.
It says,
Himself, he needs
it
to
says
feed
pickup
them.
gives me
Need-
pickup
that needs
instructions. Once you arrive, skip
Are
the
you
line and show
suggesting
the staff your order
business
details.
owners
I
are
don't want to do that.
No, somebody's supposed to be picking it up and delivering it to you.
Yeah.
I assumed you ate by osmosis.
Dude, I'm out like $40 because I
I stick my finger in my food and it all absorbs in.
But you ordered it through DoorDash, though, right?
Mhm.
And you did it say that it assigned a driver or something? You can always call them. That's why I prefer to cook in the break room.
I like cooking. Maybe not all the time. If I had to do it all the time, I'd probably hate it. But we kind of switch off for weeks for cooking.
This
All
is,
right.
During my week, I
This is
truly
gonna
enjoy
suck.
it.
What's gonna suck, yo?
this is gonna suck. We're gonna have to kill the halfling because her aunt is possessed. I'm just kidding.
Just throw her in the back with me.
All right, well, you've got to go that way, a sconch. Okay.
Yeah, I keep.
It'll be
her-
easier for me once I see Rachel
Yeah.
sitting there.
We're not
If-
feeding you the bracelet wearing chick.
Well, she's already out in the garden absorbing one of the mages
We're not
or one of the
feeding you-
backcut gang members
Yeah.
that you guys brought for her to
Magic.
after you guys spoke with Dead.
In this new system, do I get an extra dice for every wizard I eat?
Well,
I think you should get a hit die for every body you consume.
I'm absorbing
oh
their
no,
life
she's gonna be
force.
like turned into like this roaming cannibal in the streets. And she'll start making up stories. She'll make up stories so Scarlet and Sephora are just like killing people all night long. It'll be like a good old fashioned murder hobo session with somebody killing all the or eating all the
Now-
murdered hobos.
You have to ask yourself, who's the enabler? Are they enabling my eating problems because all I need is actually sunlight? Or am I
Definitely.
enabling their killing habits
Well, especially
by
since,
giving them a way to get rid of the bodies?
not well actually to make for the intimidation factor we could literally hang the bodies from your branches.
Don't encourage her, Starry Night.
That's a great
Don't
idea.
encourage her.
I've always wanted human bodies as direct decorations.
She really has.
Yeah.
She
We
really
could
has.
just cut their heads
Do you
off
remember?
and
Do you
hang them
remember the
like
wolf skull that
ornaments.
you guys sold? I really liked that wolf skull.
Okay.
You really
They said they're trying to find a dasher to assign.
it was really
Okay,
fun
yeah,
to
We're
you're
gonna have
fine.
to make sure that Rachel
You'll
pokes
probably
you.
eat around midnight like
On
most
the
Door Dashers.
That Rachel pokes you on the regular.
I'll stay here until they come.
keeping
Just
you
give me the
awake.
key.
Is this microphone picking me up?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
I don't know because
You
it's
feel
not
lighter?
pointing at me.
Oh, it's pointing at you.
No, it's pointing like.
It's pointing at you. You're in a cone this big.
Where are we at?
Oh.
I forgot
So
where
the
we're
cone
at.
is
Where,
science.
AOE is.
where are we at?
It's
Willa?
the opposite.
We
Cone
are
shape
at
AOE.
the Stone Grove in Vasselheim. I'm in the backyard eating corpses, and
That's
you guys
right.
are
I'm
inside.
in the backyard eating
I'm in
corpses.
need of medical treatment.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
well-
always my method.
We currently have.
Awesome. Thanks, Starry. Starry says she can hear everyone equally.
Yay! Thank you.
What about when I'm talking?
Bye,
like
Joe.
Ola? Can you still?
Oh, wait a minute, mine's too loud.
What about when I'm talking like Ola?
I feel like I have so much room.
Kinda.
Well,
Really speak.
one of the things we did was by adding the seventh
So much
microphone.
room.
By
Yeah,
adding the
real
seventh
close.
microphone, that I think that increased the sensitivity a bit.
Yes,
So I
we have
think
so
that
much
helped.
room.
Does that mean I have to be
So
careful about my
much
So
breathing?
much room.
No, not that. I don't think it's
You
that
can
much.
roll
You'll
a
let me know,
dice,
though, right? I can't
Roll
be
a
quiet with
dice.
my breathing if I have to.
throw a curveball.
I don't know, Chaz. It sounds pretty good.
Thank
Chaz is
you
on.
so much,
Thanks,
Chaz.
Chaz.
Thank you, Chaz. We love the room.
Thanks, Chaz. You should
Oh,
come and game with us
And
someday.
did
Yeah,
you
like-
mention? Did
Like,
you
like
mention
one
that
of
your
those
your
back
butt
scratchers that
cheeks
you
are
get
being
Halloween that
cupped
actually
by
Yeah, something
presents
like
from
that.
Chaz?
Oh.
That's what the little gray
Thank you,
barriers
Chaz.
are.
Your butt
We
cheeks are
like the
being
butt
cupped
cheek pillows.
But not my hole.
by presents from Chaz.
I
There's
think
a
you
hole.
Is your
underestimate
hole not
how
being
big my
puckered?
butt is.
There's
You
a
need
hole
to-
where my hole
That's
is.
to let your coccyx float.
Oh, is that what's floating?
Don't
right
put the hole in the front. It's for your cock
now? I think there's something down there touching the seat right now. Through the hole. No, it's kidding.
Are you sitting that far back?
Chaz goes, glad I can comfort your butts.
Thanks, Jazz.
How far out is Rachel?
She's
Say,
super
"Go ahead
far
and
out.
start."
Is she
Have you
even
seen the
showing
hat
up
she
tonight?
wears?
She's showing up.
Okay.
She's
Did
on
she
her way.
forget that Monday
no,
nights?
She's on her way. It's just today was her best friend's birthday.
Oh.
Well, you could have started at 8 a.m.
They
Yeah, what's up with
started
her
around
friend?
4
Not
this
much of a
afternoon.
friend if she knew she was
4?
having
That's not a
D&D game.
starting point. That's a finishing point. You finish at 4.
What kind of friend ruins your D&D game with a birthday party?
How
I expect
dare
you
she
to
be
fulfill
born
your
X amount of
oath.
years on this specific day?
Well, and
Can someone close the door then? We'll get started.
she won't be here next week because she'll be in Idaho.
Oh no.
Oh,
So we're taking next week off?
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Or we
I
could,
think we should do a one shot,
or we play
I think
board
we
game.
should.
or we could do board games.
Yep.
We can
We do board
Oh,
games.
We could do. We have so many board games over
We
there.
do.
We could play Castle Panic.
Do love Castle Panic. It's a lot
We
of fun.
already played Castle Panic.
Okay.
could play-
We love playing Castle
Exploding
Panic.
Kittens.
Hey,
You have
do
to
you guys
remember,
have?
it has to be a game that
do
has
you
a
have
lot of
the House on Haunted
we
Hill?
still haven't
Uh-uh.
had the drunken one
What's
yet.
the
Oh,
one
I should
that
bring
says-
that.
Bring it in.
I'm royally screwed.
That's what the game wall's here for. The game wall's here so you guys can add to it, and then we can play games on it.
Ooh, we could play Munchkin Dungeon.
We could play
I
Munchkin
have
Dungeon.
yet to ever play Munchkin.
Munchkin's
And
fun.
we should
I
play
have
Munchkin.
Munchkin.
Oh, we should
at home, but
play.
I've
We'll
never
have regular
played.
Munchkin, and I have Munchkin Dungeon.
It reminded me of the It reminded me of The Office when she's trying to have adult office games.
Oh God,
Remember
that could be
that?
very loaded.
You don't play adult office games in office.
So, where we last left off, the team had successfully rescued Willa,
Yay!
and in that same evening, had decided to head over to the underground warrens and the bazaar because it was already nighttime. And what do you do when Ron Burgundy survives a street fight? You'll buy new suits.
Buy new suits.
That's what they did. They went shopping.
I just wanted to remind you all, this has only been like one day away. Like
We've had 3 sessions that's still the same day.
Not just that, but it's only been one day
Well, it's
since we
working
were.
its way
at the moon.
into
We
the-
were
I killed a guy with a trident.
Yeah.
We came back from the moon. We had
Yeah,
one
right.
day, and this is the next day. Just remind
Just throwing
everybody.
that out there.
Willa, you're probably wanted by the police. You should probably find a place to hide.
All right.
I love
I don't have to
lamb.
worry about that for another.
I love
Actually,
lamb.
I love
for a
lamb.
while.
I love lamb.
I won't have to worry about that for another 6 months. That's 6 hours from now.
So with that, after doing some shopping down the underground bazaar, the little surprises that were left behind at the Backcut Gang's headquarters, as a large group of them, about a dozen of them, arrived at the Warrens, and they were covered in bites, scratches,
Not my fault.
as the infestation that was left behind clearly got their attention. After following Scarlet to the Stone Grove and then following the rest of you to the Warrens, they decided to come and give a little payback. Unfortunately, he didn't do as well as you guys did. And while it started off with a bit in their favor, with the ogre being confounded and most of them being dealt with, the team survived the incursion of the Backcut Gang and then used that opportunity to go and investigate Burt Renault's home, since it was nearby, with the intent of stashing the bodies there. However, the decision to then speak with Dead and learn more about the Backcut Gang occurred. Also, a group of halflings were ransacking Burt Renault's house. Here we discover this group of halflings were searching for an item that was stolen from them by a master thief that goes by the name of Lindarian. Lindarian seems to have been hired by the White Lion from the Helix Ward, which we know the White Lion is a collector of relics. The team, being convinced by the halflings that they would be hired to possibly track down the inheritance that supposedly that this item would lead them to. Traveling back to the Stone Grove, getting the halflings cleaned up and out of their fake goblin attire, afforded the team to kind of have a late meal, discuss some tactics and options. Eventually, Willa, getting hungry, dragged the corpses out to her garden space.
I wasn't hungry. I just wanted to eat them.
Well, there's that. creepy as fuck.
I am
Your
literally-
deadpan makes it far more creepier. Stop that. That's creepy too. And after, I think Morrow had gone upstairs as well to take his long rest.
Yeah, I do need it.
And I think, did you go as well?
Yeah.
I think you went up as well, and it was Sephora.
Wait, no, because I was the one who read the rooms.
Oh, that's right. So you did go upstairs.
Before I went upstairs, I wanted to see if anybody wanted to burn off any healing magic on him because I am severely down.
I can give him 10 good berries. You'll be really full though.
You might puke.
Is there
10
a
days-
side effect of
10
eating
days
too many good berries?
I mean, really, a good berry gives you enough.
To eat for it's enough for a day.
Yeah,
So it's like-
technically they don't stack.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
They don't stack.
Because you're full.
so
Because
you
you're
would-
full,
Bag
yeah.
With one.
In fact, you
good
wouldn't
berry.
even.
it gives you 1 healing point. And so
Now,
it's
if you
like,
want to have dingleberries, you can eat as many as you want.
You need to keep in mind for maybe your next like milestone or something, upping the points that your good berries give.
that'd be cool.
Like,
That would be actually really cool. For
Mhm.
good berries
Well,
to
we
heal
did.
more.
We did give you 1 healing.
yeah, but that was.
Yeah, that was to revive you.
At some point, my healing berries become senso beans.
It's gonna be me and 60
So, like,
playing tomorrow.
you have to realize I was knocked down to like almost dead.
Me too. I was down.
So was Sephora. She had 1 hit point left.
Yes,
One,
but I
probably
had
that point. And I had to be careful.
After, so we'll say Sephora, Scarlet, Morrow was lounging in a nearby chair waiting to be healed. So everyone's there except Willa. Willa had gone out to the garden to begin her process of absorbing the corpses, leaving the rest of you inside. At some point, after examining the bracelet, it was decided that it was identified as a lineage relic, a relic specifically designed to
Extra blood.
to be linked to a particular person. With that, Heron had reached out to Cathari, had Cathari come in, and it was determined that Cathari would try on the bracelet. And when she did,
Mhm.
her face kind of went slack, her eyes dilated, her head drops down into her chest, and then the small halfling just looks up. Oh, it worked. This is fascinating. And at that point, Haddon looks at her, Antigan? And that's where we last left
That's
off.
right.
And now Jason says roll for initiative.
No.
And I'll be there. I'll be gone for a while.
And this is where we're going to end it. Oh,
Ooh, that was a
How-
weird.
Oh, fascinating. I didn't think this would actually work. This is marvelous. I hope she doesn't mind. It's only temporary, I assure you. You found my bracelet. You've activated. Who are all these strange people, Haddon? Where's the rest of the family?
They're all getting bathed.
Bathed?
They were dressed as goblins.
I would. Okay.
yeah, probably a lot of things have gone
I wonder
down
why I
since
didn't
you
leave
were
them any
around.
money. Look, who are you?
Welcome to our home.
We helped your family find the bracelet.
Oh, I'm so pleased that it was found. Where was it?
In the floorboards of a thief's house.
Oh, in a thief's house. Interesting. Well, I've been trying to tell them for years that if you don't keep things locked up. Antigan, what is going on? Why are you here? Oh, yes, the bracelet. Well, here's the thing. I didn't really trust the family, so I hid the inheritance. Here's the problem. I hid it in my retreat, my estate, located up in the Sundered Ridge. Maybe, where are we?
Vasselheim.
Oh, a good 2 weeks east of the city. It's an old hunting estate that I kept for many years.
Is it private?
the kind of like, even though it's Cathari's face, she looks over at Heron. Do you still have the estate there? We didn't know you owned an estate, Aunt Tegan. You didn't leave us any information. You just left us the way to retrieve the bracelet. Oh, dear. Well, if no one knows about it, it's probably still private. As long as, I don't know.
Or there's squatters.
It
How
is
long
pretty
has
far.
it been since Aunt Tegan died? I look at her.
It's been almost a year.
A year.
Oh, that's not.
That's not too bad.
That's just enough time for a lich to take over the keep and raise an undead army to. I'm not there.
But I'm inspired.
Oh no! Stop giving him ideas. He doesn't need them.
The entire forest and
Someday
surrounding
they'll-
areas is filled with undead animals and
I'm sure it's
people
all spiders.
and spiders. Undead spiders as well.
All
Undead ghost spiders.
Can't wait to go into the planet where there is no spiders.
except there's ice spiders.
Ice spiders.
I mean, they're a pretty ubiquitous arachnid. I mean, everywhere there's a crack, a crevice, or a hole, there's always something crawling out of it.
Or something trying to crawl into it.
Yeah, either or. But how fucking bazinga.
Bazinga.
I'm just imagining
Bazinga.
crotch goblins and spiders now.
So,
A case of clutch goblins.
so the estate in the Ascended Ridge. It shouldn't be hard to find. In the basement is a false wall. Behind the false wall, there are stairs that lead down into the chamber. In that chamber, I have placed the inheritance of my family.
Is it protected?
Yes, it's protected, and I think that might be the problem. And she looks over at Heron. Dear great nephew, do you remember your crazy uncle Pinion? Do you? Yeah, he's memorable because he's crazy. Well, here's the thing.
Tegan.
Great Uncle Pinion was really good at making things. And he made me a bit of a protector, a mechanical device to be with me when he was out on his little adventures and his journeys. The problem was, before I passed away, I did not have the opportunity to hit the little button that I was supposed to hit if anything was to happen to me. So he will continue to protect the chamber.
Where's the button?
Thank you.
And can we use it?
And can we push the button?
So
Or does your niece?
no, it's quite a mechanical creature of sorts.
So it's not bloodbound.
No. The lineage bracelet definitely was, because that's the only way I could protect the inheritance. It's quite a fortune. So there's a panel on its back with a little metal kind of like a dial on it that allows you to open this panel. Inside, there is a power stone that drives its form. All you really have to do is open the panel, reach in, pull out the stone. That should cause it to become inactive.
What's the code?
Fuck if I know. Code? What do you mean code?
How do you
On
open
the panel?
You turn the dial. It's a metal flange.
It's a knob.
Oh.
Yes, what your orc fellow said of that. A fucking
Just
knob.
remember, this is Dungeons and Dragons, everybody. Doors are the hardest enemy.
No.
So the party can be confounded by a door.
I don't want to get
All
peed on.
night long.
Do you touch
All
the knob?
night.
All
All night
what hand
long.
do you use?
All night.
Wait a minute. I didn't say I touched it. I was just looking at it.
Yeah, which eye do you use to look at it?
Open the door. Okay, open the door. Okay, fine.
And the door.
What hand do you use to open the door? Well, wait a minute. I'm going to think about it now. Wait a minute. How many times you heard that?
Well, I got to a point where one of the groups that I run, They now use thaumaturgy and mage hand to open
Every
single door.
And who created that paranoia? Ask
Yeah.
yourself that
Ask
question when you
yourself,
look in the mirror
how do
at
you
night.
sleep?
And what's the irony of it is, they'll go like 5 sessions where every door is perfectly fine,
Yeah, and
and then suddenly a door goes
Right.
wrong for them,
right.
and then they get paranoid, and for the next 4 sessions, their paranoia never pays off. The doors are all
We
fine.
send the mage hand into the room to the other side of
And
the
then
room where the door
all of a
is.
sudden, they get a little lax, and it's like,
Then you wait for it.
ba-ba!
Bring it on.
Wait for it.
It's funny because you can just wait until
That
they start
Forgotten
getting
Realms
relaxed.
group got real lazy real fast.
Then you have someone like me who just lives in this perpetual state of paranoia that was brought up in me.
So many things I should say about all of that. I'm not going to. So
Everything can go wrong all the time.
here's the thing. It's quite a deadly device. It can see in the dark. It can sense invisibility. Imagine a poor old woman living by herself and somebody making a protectorate device for all matters of concern and consideration. Now, it does protect the vault that the inheritance sits in. And as long as it is active, it'll actively try to attack or defend against anyone attempting to get into the vault. Now, you should have no problem entering the house. However, once the false wall of the basement is activated, that will activate the protective measures of the creature down below. You're not there.
Yes, I know. I both wish I was more roguish and I was there, because then I'd be like, so how much is the silverware? Is that worth anything? You just collect all the little bits and bobbles and take off.
So, I take it my family has possibly sought you out to hire you to possibly retrieve this. And Heron is now hearing the story about the protective creature. Yeah, we did. Yeah, they're all in. We just gotta, work on a percentage, Auntie. And by the way, you're not gonna stay in my cousin, are you? You're gonna leave. Oh yes, this isn't real. This is illusion. It's a magic that lasts for a while, fade. And, this was supposed to trigger this effect if anyone of our family put on a bracelet, and this is what happened. It's powerful enough magic that I can interact with. I can't really see any of you. You're not actual things to me. I'm just responding to your auditory information.
How did you die?
Oh dear, my heart exploded. Died of old age. Thought I was still a younger. And, turns out I can't run like I used to.
So no foul play involved. Okay.
I don't think so. It's a good family. The Nutters, for sure, not very good at what they do. But I'm just glad that they have you to retrieve the inheritance and provide for them. So,
What's this beast look like?
well, it's roughly 8 feet tall. It's made of mechanical components.
It's got 2 arms and 2 legs and a head. And
No, it sits upon a great round oval spinning device. So it can move in any direction. It's quite fast. It has an upper torso that has no limbs that you can see. However, it is encased with many different panels. Pinion had stated to me that it could project up to 6 arms at a single time. It has magical abilities as well, infused into its form, and other things that it could do that I was never told precisely. He specifically said that as long as I remained at the estate and the inheritance was in that chamber, this device would protect me. I had hoped I'd have enough time to remove the stone. Unfortunately, my heart gave out too quickly, too soon.
And there's no other way to access the vault?
No, because then it wouldn't be a vault, would it? Be a porch.
You just dig a hole.
I like her sense of humor.
Oh, thank you. I work for... Like, Cathari's head goes kind of like limp. She shakes her head. Ow! As she starts trying to take the bracelet off, and little trickles of blood are running down her arm, and she takes it off and throws it on the ground. That really hurts. Holy shit! As she's grabbing her arm and walking back in the direction of the kitchen stairs. And Henry just watches her leave and looks at all of you. So, fuck. I wish I would have negotiated your fee before you saw that. I'm just going to start by saying...
Don't insult us, by the way.
That's fair. I'm just going to start off by saying that clearly 50-50.
60-40.
Oh, come on. I've got 20 members of the family I've got to take care of.
50-50 sounds
50-50 sounds about right.
And I'll tell you what. You can keep the protectorate device.
Done.
50-50?
In the garden.
Very good.
50-50 on the
And
on
you
the
can
mechanical.
absorb the magical skin.
Ooh, can I become part of it?
But I don't.
That's
Can
awesome.
you? I guess you can absorb the metal. You're not. That
Well, she started playing with the idea of absorbing metallurgy.
we could.
Organics
take the
are her
panels
main
off of it.
jam.
We could take the panels off of it and just like bolt it to your skin.
Let me ask you something.
Do absorb the turtle.
It's basically a fucking trash
Yeah,
can.
but turtles' shells are organic.
Got a question.
Yes.
The property itself.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't remember seeing any deeds or estate documents in her home in Vasselheim. I could certainly send some of the family over to look and see if they could find something again, but are you in the market for an estate out in the Sundered Rim?
Maybe.
Well, if we could find the original documentation, we could always go to the registry, see if she has any estates registered under her name as well. But we will keep an eye out, and we can negotiate something.
Don't want to draw too much attention to the fact that we're looking for something.
We should do that after.
We'll
we
do
find
that
the vault.
afterwards.
So, 50-50. Find the inheritance, bring it back to Vasselheim. We'll make the split. I will look into the home, see if it's available for
No.
transfer.
Wait a minute. What if we get there and there's nothing there?
What do you mean?
What's 50%
Why wouldn't there be
of
anything
nothing?
there?
What's 50% of nothing is nothing.
Well,
So how will we be compensated if we go there, destroy this cursed device, and then find out that,
Aunt Tegan was eccentric by all measures, but I can assure you, I'm sure the inheritance is there. If it's not, then someone else has gotten there before us,
right,
which would suggest the device could be destroyed already. Or maybe there's the remains of those that have failed. I don't know. I didn't even understand that she had an estate, other than her home here in Vasselheim, which, of course, the family has taken over at this point.
And if she was living in the estate,
Do
that
we-
means it was probably still furnished with probably some valuables still left inside.
I am okay with finders keepers if you choose to do that. You can
No,
include that in
just-
your fee.
Well, let's go
Just ask him. Let's go.
check it out. And I mean, you wanted to go out of town for a while, anyways.
I'd like
Probably
to.
good.
I'd like to. Sew myself up and
Oh, yeah,
Wash
we're
the-
not going right
Well,
wash
now.
my own blood. out
I'm
of my
going to see the
clothes.
Kathari, see that she's okay.
We all need to take
In the morning, I will be
But I
taking the
don't
family back to
think
Aunt
we should
Tegan's
be
estate.
Where is Aunt Tegan's estate?
I'm sorry, Aunt Tegan's estate here in Vasselheim.
Right.
It is over in the Helix ward.
I don't feel comfortable staying in this house, but
Well, why not?
Come stay
It's
in
a
the
nice
I don't know if I
house.
want to be in the Helix ward though. It's like right next to the lion.
Mhm.
Well, anyways, I'm going to go make sure Kathari's okay. I will gather up my family in the morning and we will head over to Aunt Tegan's estate over in the Helix ward. That being that, I will have to be honest with you. I don't know much about the region that she talked about. You may have to do some of your own research to understand where it might be.
2 weeks to the.
To the Sundered Rim.
or 0 weeks if we use our
2 weeks.
I was under that impression.
Right there with you, but not saying anything.
But then we'd also have to find a map of it because somebody has to navigate to it.
And we have to scout to it.
If they're describing it as the Sundered Rim, there
Ridge
is,
or rim? Ridge or rim?
Sundered Rim is how Aaron would describe it.
Nothing ever has a nice sounding name in this godforsaken country.
There is along the west coast of Othanzia, there's an area called the Sundered Peak. So there's a good chance that might be the area that she's talking about.
Sundered Peak Mountains.
Correct. It has the great kind of like border between
Let's bring out the
Othanzia
map and try
and the
put this on
rest
the map.
of the Western Wilds.
Okay, Thunder Peak Mountains, and it's Thunder Peak Ridge, and you said
Rim. Thunder Peak Rim.
Rim.
So a
You
lot
said
of
ridge first, so that's
did I? Okay, that's fine. We could use Ridge if you want. I meant to use Rim, so we'll call it Thunder Peak Ridge. But because it's or Sundered Ridge, and because the word Sunder is in it, you could probably make the connection that it's probably in that region.
right.
Okay,
But it's also a pretty big area, pretty big region.
so it's actually probably close to Fort Hadrick then, because if
It's in the general area. It's possible.
and we have other things to do there. I don't remember what they were, but you have a list of quests.
I do quests.
I remember that
we
there were
have
quests there.
A
There's like
delivery.
5 NPCs stood up with little question marks.
We have a delivery for Halbystonefoot to take a box to an outpost outside of Fort Hedrick.
That could be an excuse for us to go out there without drawing too much attention.
We can just leave and then
Nobody's
nobody's draw what attention.
nobody's keeping us here. They don't know that I eat people yet.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them probably
Well,
don't
there
know.
are some people who did see you munching.
No, I wasn't eating them yet.
All right. So our
Meanwhile,
next-
Mars in his chair, just listening to this conversation.
I
Like,
should be like sleeping right now.
so with that, that'll wrap up the evening as all of you go to your respective chambers to take your long rest, because it is quite late in the evening at this point. So
Mhm.
I'm okay.
don't
I'm not.
get him hooked on your cocaine.
Sometimes
Your energy drinks are your problem, not society's.
You know, I never drank energy drinks before, my friend.
The fact that it took 5 words to start a sentence, you drink plenty of energy drinks.
only now. Okay, I only drink them because I'm supporting my friend's business. Okay.
What business is that?
I only mainline heroin because my
It's all
friend
right.
is a recovery counselor.
that's the safest way to not.
Yeah, I am severely allergic to that. And sucralose.
Okay. Sleeping. Click off a long rest.
Yep,
Anything
go ahead
zero
and-
sugar, low sugar.
Not that it matters.
anything low sugar.
Well,
Just
I
the
mean, I
recovery
have
from
I have
the
hit
long
points
rest.
that
No, I know.
or hit points.
Instant
Your hit
What is
points
the
back.
recovery from the long rest?
Everything.
Oh, everything comes back.
Yeah, everything comes back
Okay.
except for
Yeah.
your limp. Still have a
Still
limp.
checking.
Still have,
Yes, usually if it says
scorch
sugar
mark
free
here or there,
or
still-
Well, it's not
no,
sugar-
no
low
hair.
sugar.
You guys
No
wake
hair.
up to the
No
normal
hair.
smells of an
Fireball.
early morning breakfast. Avaste has already filled the common table, the common room, with all the trimmings and feedings of a very hungry group. Willa, give me a wisdom check for your absorption of talent.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. I mean,
Look at Sephora's face.
Ooh,
No, this is
17
Ivan's
plus
face
nine.
with my
Wisdom
DoorDash.
Oh, is it still not on the way yet?
Oh man.
check? Wisdom check, say?
Yeah, wisdom check. So
Okay.
just roll
plus
that d20
3.
and add your
wanna
wisdom
go let
modifier.
people out front
Dirty
know that
20.
Dirty
you're
20.
Potentially a DoorDash one.
So as you absorb Talon's form throughout the night, because you are limited to 1 absorption per day.
Save the other
Um,
one for later.
yeah, you try to put it in cold storage and hope it won't decay. But
I just put it under the ground. If I don't get it, my children will.
Just have Bella cast Gentle Repose on it. so
I
that
just
she can't-
imagining Rodrigo out there setting up the sparring pell and getting ready to spar with Morrow. And there's dozens of these little spritlings digging a hole for a corpse to go into it.
And I like to think that he looks at them and they all turn like this, or they just keep.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
You don't see now.
Oh.
This is not the plant you're looking for.
So with that, all of you gather at the breakfast table. You find yourself intrigued by the spell in his mind that you absorb. And it is a spell called Bigsby's Death Grip.
Really? That sounds fun.
And while he has it in his mind, the only reason you were able to absorb it, it was the only spell he didn't get to cast. So technically, it did not expire from his mind.
You said death grip. You said.
Yeah, Bigsby's Death Grip. So while you understand that it's a spell, you understand the words and the idea of it in his mind as you absorbed his form, you're not quite sure how to use it. So you'll have to do some study.
I'll have to research the spell in a library, or like I try
Possibly.
it out and see what happens.
Never know. All options are on the table. Did the Fig Newtons make it in here by chance?
No, but
Because
can
I
go
purposely ate
Did
good
you-
all day
I'll
to
go
save
get
up
it.
for Fig Newtons.
He was being so good. You see him eating a salad and soup earlier.
Salad and soup, and I had asparagus and eggs for breakfast, and I was a good boy.
I like asparagus, but for breakfast,
Asparagus, eggs, and shrimp. That's what I had for breakfast.
I mean, I'm not one for breakfast much, anyways, because I'm nights.
He
The
was
single
evil.
most
He
important.
made a
That's true.
steak without me.
For breakfast or dinner?
Both.
That's fair. I've got
Well,
these 2 little filet mignons I need to cook for me and Callista tomorrow. I got to get that done.
I cooked them up Saturday night and then leftovers.
That's what I need to
Steak
do.
and
You know what? I
eggs.
need to cook those tomorrow morning, and I'll just bring dinner in for tomorrow night because tomorrow night's our Tuesday game. So
That's
you
good.
should have just ransacked our break room, bro.
I
There's
had
plenty of
mac
stuff
and
in there to eat.
Yeah, that's right. I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting into your Sephora character perfectly. Because kind of how Sephora looks
I
half the
might
time.
have to just kill those halflings to sate my anger.
Drown a few.
You look like Sephora, like sitting in the dark hallway with a halfling, dislocates her jaw.
No, just one roasting slowly over a fire. You have to parboil their feet to get the hair off, and you scrape the hair off.
Whose feet are you parboiling?
One of
A
the
halflings. So you guys are gathered around the breakfast table now. Your spritlings are preserving the next corpse that you want to absorb when you get a chance. It is morning. The breakfast table is filled with all sorts of yummy things.
And a halfling.
No halflings.
Did they leave?
They have already left.
Oh.
They are early
Oh,
risers.
God.
There was a note stating that gave you the location and where they can be found. And you're free to come over there and call upon them when you return.
Did I see them?
Wow.
Leave?
Mm-mm.
But I'm a
Did we
tree.
want
I
to
only
see
can
if we
sleep
have
4
any
hours.
luck with tracking down a
I guess
bee?
the,
Not quite how it works. You still have to take a long rest.
yeah, it's 4 hours.
No,
You said or
a
so.
long rest is 8 hours.
You said my.
But for you to recover is only 4 hours. Once a long rest is initiated, everyone takes 8 hours.
You've
I'm
always said that hers was only 4.
Yeah.
I know. That's a mistake on my part.
Okay.
I make mistakes too.
I'm just trying to figure out how this works going forward.
Well, it gives us an option to use you as a guard, right?
No, I'm usually am
Sentry.
anyways. Yeah. It's like I'm awake after 4 hours.
Not really. You still need to rest 8 hours. The difference is that if you're disrupted during your 8-hour rest, you're fully restored.
Mm-hmm.
But technically, the group takes a long rest.
But you do make a really.
I just figure I do other things while other people are doing stuff. I know how to keep myself busy.
Chopping wood for the fire.
No, like growing wood for the fire.
Get my babies.
Slap my arm, throw it on the fire.
It's healthcare, exfoliating.
Yeah, it's just exfoliating.
Early morning, the halflings have left. What would you guys like to do? And we're officially on our 15th day.
About 10 in the city.
Since arriving in the city.
Does the winter market start today?
Didn't you already get what you wanted without the winter market though?
No.
You wanted.
We got
You were
that,
so
we got
excited
that.
about the winter market because you wanted to get some of that booze that you bought in the black
Why did
market.
I want to
Oh,
go to
that
the
was
winter
from
market?
the underground.
Well, the winter market is the first week of Thunshare, where winter closes out and spring officially starts.
All right, yeah, it was only the bottle of Craig's whiskey.
It's the only thing you really
I'm
want.
good then. Unless we want to buy some more cool shit.
It is the biggest grand opening of the caravan season. Hundreds of
How long?
stalls and trade. It lasts for 2 weeks.
And it takes us 2 weeks to get out to where we're
I
going.
mean,
We can stay a day. Buy things. It's up to you guys.
I just,
how long till it?
2 more days.
2 more days?
do we really want to hang around the city if we've got people looking for us? We don't know who took the.
No, I say we
head-on
go.
almost
We take the ship.
Make a hasty exit.
We take the ship to the
Sunday room.
yes. And hopefully, this side quest doesn't take that long and we can come back and go shopping with a lot more money afterwards.
Yes.
The halfling guys aren't coming with us, right?
No,
As far as you know, they're not.
No, yeah,
we didn't need the bracelet for.
that's why
They
they
told us
hired
where
us,
the
so they
thing
didn't
is
have to go.
Yeah, they looked like they were going to pee their pants if they had to deal with it themselves.
Oh, how sad for them.
So,
What do you think we need to bring with us to possibly defend ourselves against this mechanical beast?
what do you think works against mechanics? Lightning?
Ice?
Rust.
I thought maybe we try to lure it away from the ball.
Maybe I should try to eat it.
No. You've eaten enough.
And it might eat you first.
Today, maybe.
But it might chop you into little bits.
Like some kind of maybe a way to set a trap to ensnare it and then get by it. Because we're gonna have to
Well, I'm
kinda
sure.
incapacitate it long enough to get the power source out.
Yeah, but she did say that it has magic of its own. So it probably has magic resistance. And I'm sure it's got legendary actions and legendary reactions.
Fourth wall just meta
What
crumbles.
is this? Legendary
It's probably super powerful and can act. in-
All we have to do is
Straight
have
doesn't-
Bella bring her boulder and we'll be fine.
Goals
It
are
doesn't
power!
It doesn't have feet, so we can't really tie it up and trip it up. It's a big ball on the
Well, it
bottom.
says
Yeah,
we
it
don't.
sounded
It,
like
it possibly has feet that extend out of its body.
Maybe we
well,
can
it
find
has
something
arms that
sticky.
extend out. It
This is
described it
like
a
6 arms.
orbital base, like a kind
Big
of like
ball.
a round wheel.
I mean, it's kind of like BB-8.
Oh, could we use fly on it? Lift it up.
Yeah, let's make the bad thing fly.
I canceled my shawarma
that
order
you're
and
looking-
reordered McDonald's.
So it can kill us easier and squash us.
That's just
and
good.
like-
That conversation just gave me diarrhea.
You don't want not fly. It's the other one.
Levitate.
That's the one.
Okay.
That's the one where they can't like navigate it. They
Okay.
just get lifted up and stuck.
Yeah, I think their movement speed is really slow.
You can't even move with lift
I
unless.
have no idea what
stuck moving
language
you.
they're speaking.
They're speaking spells.
So we woke up in the morning, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You guys are currently at the common table,
So-
enjoying the typical breakfast that Avaste
What are we?
provides. Maro, you would know that Rodrigo's setting up the practice pel outside to train the guards and establish the normal routine of the guards on the grounds. You have yet to see your particular contact return anytime recently. The Tabaxi.
Oh, I was thinking his pimp. Her pimp.
And I think the pimp used just a common name like Robertson, right? The footman over at the.
He's a contact. I'm like pimp.
Okay.
Robertson or Roberts?
Roberts or Robertson, I don't remember.
Jules Roberts.
Yeah.
Brandon
absolutely.
Greenwood.
He's gonna take me shopping, and then all the shop girls are.
Well, I think
gonna be
Brendan Greenwood
like,
was
"Oh, we
the
didn't
noble.
tell her
I
address
have
yesterday 'cause
a
she's a
Brendan
whore."
Greenwood, the guard at the Queen's
Big
Strikers.
mistake.
Oh, that's the dwarf from the Coin Strikers Guild.
Winston.
Winston. That's right.
Winston.
My
Churchill.
ode to Winston. That was
I
the name
probably
of it.
didn't write his
Winston.
name down because I never met him.
I'm gonna give him crotch goblins. A wicked case of crotch goblins. No kidding.
What if we were to get the things gears that's spinny? It's spinny, right? What if it's covered in something sticky and goopy and it can't move anymore?
So we need to have our lovely companion bring her spiders.
Oh,
No.
I wanted to.
It's like ever
When all the
no.
spiders,
Oh,
and
wait.
it's just the gooey spider.
Maybe that might be an idea.
Clog it up with dead spider corpses.
I'm all for mutilation, but seriously, that's just that's like feeding an army to a meat
Sacrifice
grinder.
them.
Feeding
We've sacrificed your little tieflings.
You absorb human carcasses,
Yeah.
and you're worried about some spiders.
I'm not worried about spiders.
I was the one worried about spiders, not Willa.
She was just saying.
I was talking about the character. I was too loud to be willing.
All right. I don't know the difference.
But any ideas on some way to ensnare it or to slow it down?
I'm not going to know until we get there.
Yeah, we can do all the planning we want,
But
and
maybe,
it'll all go to shit.
maybe we can find some things here
And
in the
she
city.
did say it doesn't even activate until someone tries to get into the vault. So it does
So
give us a
someone opens up
chance
that door.
to assess it before we try to open the vault.
Not really. We can assess the house.
As soon as
We can, loot the house, but we're not going to be able to assess
as soon
the.
as we get through the
Map.
pantry wall,
Oh,
it's
that's
gonna
right.
be
As soon as
active.
we get through the pantry.
What?
Can we go through the pantry without going through the wall?
No, because then that would be a porch.
I'm sure it's got magics to keep people from
You know what, Mara?
teleporting into
I
it.
rarely say this to you. D6 inspiration for that one.
Write that
Extra
down
D6.
because you can use 1d6 in any time.
It's like
So
a.
make sure you write that down.
Okay, D6
Inspiration.
inspiration.
You can add it to one of your
inspiration
rolls.
because you can add it to any roll.
Okay.
Let's go with your witty comeback.
Yeah, especially against your wife. That's perfect.
He's safer across the table.
That's such a big
I
table.
don't have access
We
to
should get
It's
going.
weird having room, isn't it? It really changes. It really changes the energy.
We should
It
get
does.
going because
I feel loud.
there are people looking for us, and I'd rather
Yeah.
have them kill our guards, and
I'd rather they not kill the
you know,
guards.
than us. So
Yeah,
we should go.
We do need to let
I would
someone
like
know
to
that we are going to leave for a few days this time.
The grounds are
Tell them we
safe.
might be
Like
wanted
that.
by the authorities,
enjoy my breakfast.
Don't let
and my
anybody-
exercise.
and then don't let anybody nail our door shut and send away our servants.
No, I'll make sure I leave them with enough enough funds to keep them paid while we're gone.
If their
Should we
pay goes in
pro-
the
should
rears,
we-
they should still stay here.
Should we possibly pack the Vardo to make it look like we're leaving?
No, because where are we going to put the Bardo?
Well,
We
if
should
anyone
wait till
comes
nighttime and
looking,
then take off in our contraption.
Yeah,
Okay.
Get away from the city as soon as possible before someone
Let's all-
finds us.
let's all pack. Get ready to go. I'm going to study lightning out of this spell book.
Okay, and work on the lightning spell.
Yeah, because I'm going to see if lightning will work on a mechanical thing. I mean, it's got to be like an EMP. I mean, a lightning bolt.
You're just pulling shit out of the air.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't ricochet off of it, like
You know what she's
like
doing?
in
She's
circles.
throwing this shit out there because then you'll be like, that sounds plausible. I'll go ahead and let that happen. 1 out of 100 times you'll say that, but it's worth it. Props EMP where everyone's magic items die in a 100-yard radius.
I turned back into a tree.
I don't know.
Trees wither and die.
I mean, if our
Pork
computers,
skins fall off.
get
Yawn,
like
tease,
zapped by
teeth
too much electricity,
crumble.
they freak.
Yeah.
Maybe this mechanical thing will, freak.
Or
Sure.
become more powerful.
More than willing to try.
Don't give them ideas. I'm
It's
good.
called the Dispel Magic.
Sorry, I played
But it
Pokemon.
has- it
Lightning
has its
versus
spell
metal didn't work very well.
Well, then what's
Big
your
beast.
purpose is metal?
Wand.
Big piece wall.
Because lightning grounds,
Gold digger.
I'm picking a winner.
So with that, you guys pack up your kit and your gear, and head to the backside of the estate to make your way into the wasp-like ship, the kind of shaped like a strange-looking insect.
I wonder what fuels this thing.
Oh,
Our blood.
Hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams.
did we come up with a map or something to guide us to where we're going?
Oh yeah, we're gonna look for a map.
That's what I do. Remember?
She's the cartographer.
Yeah, I'm a cartographer. Just what you do.
Okay. I'll say while they're packing and getting ready, you can spend the morning doing that. Go to the local.
Can we send a guard with her so she's not going alone?
I don't have any money.
I don't think money's
because
the problem.
It's the money
You know
that they're
what?
looking for.
We'll send Rodrigo. So Rodrigo, the captain of the guard, decides to travel with you. It's very good to see you. I don't know what you are, but you're fun to walk with. I've been given an allowance for you. And where are we going?
We are looking for maps in order to guide us to our next destination. We'll be
May
there.
I make a recommendation?
I would love a recommendation.
Crentarian's cartography. Can we?
Did we
Good
go
friend
down
of
this
mine.
aisle?
I'm sorry?
Did we go down this alley? It looks dark and creepy.
No, I was told not to let you go down alleys. Why are you attracted to dark and creepy things? Never mind. I'm looking at you now, and I think I understand. Anyways,
It looks
to
so-
Quantarians,
it
let's just
looks
go.
so lonely.
And the two of you kind of like
God.
just quickly go down into the Quad Roads district where some of the kind of
That's why I didn't know.
where some of the bazaars and storefronts are. Sure enough, there's Quatarian's cartography, and he guides you inside. Now, what are we looking for?
We're looking for maps around Fort Hadric
She's going
and
to tell the truth. Why did you send her? Why did you send
Cinder's Peak Mountains. We're looking
Ah,
for
the Sundered region. Very well. Give me a moment.
It's a big
And Rodrigo kind of walks over to a counter, has a conversation with the elven gentleman behind the counter, exchange of coins, and eventually the elf hands Rodrigo 3 bundles of maps and a leather-bound book that looks to have a title on it called the Sun Peak region. He gathers it up and goes, "Good, I have acquired what you need. Shall we?"
Can I
Go.
look at them a little bit to make sure it's what I'm looking for?
So here's the thing. I was told to not let you be distracted. To gather what we need
But I don't know.
and
if
to
it's what I need.
save. You told me the region that you're going to.
Yes, but that may or may not be what we're looking for. I need to look through the maps and see if that's what we're looking
But there is only one region called the Sundered.
for. Yes.
There's not another Sundered region.
But what if it's not what we're looking for?
But you said you're looking for the Sundered region. And he just gathers up the kit and just walks out the door.
I'm looking around. I'm still looking around.
The door opens again. Willa, please. Please.
How much was
I
it?
may even let you walk by an alley.
She needs a handle.
That's why we sent him. How much was it?
22 gold for all the information. Eventually, while you guys have finished packing everything up, You come into the common table, and Willa has everything spread out. But she's back in one piece, as far as you can tell. Maybe plus or minus a few spritlings, although most of them are still busy outside. And you can hear Rodrigo's voice, coming from like the outside garden area. Not that I wish to be. Are we going to be burying corpses out here often? Or is this the last time to expect this? And why are there tiny little creatures burying people in the yard?
Leftovers.
We miss our
Leftovers?
graveyard. We miss our
Miss
graveyard.
our graveyard.
So we put the rest of the dead spiders in the trash cans. And we take them back. Oh, hey!
I would be surprised if all my spiders just suddenly just dead.
Late morning, and Belladonna comes walking down the stairs. She's got like
Rough.
a spider on her head.
Little spiders coming out of my hair.
What are we doing? Where are we going? And the table is covered with 3 very large maps, all of which have titles on them called either the Sundered Area, the Sundered Peaks, or the Sundered Region. She's got a book open. Give me investigation, please, as you begin to peruse the maps.
Something that's about 2 weeks travel away. Area.
Now, are we in the room by ourselves or any disturbance around?
You guys have the common room to yourself, yes.
Okay. So who's gonna wear the helmet?
Did we have to wear the helmet to do the wasp?
So you or me this
That's
time
just
around.
a straight
Well,
You
catch.
did a
whoever's-
better job
Well,
at
you
it.
did a better job at it, but we just got to make sure that you're
I
wearing.
mean, you guys
the
haven't really been
necklace.
doing much studying of it lately,
Yeah.
so you just have the memory of the travel down from the third moon.
So
The shadow
I
mode.
need to study the map because that's helped me navigate it.
Yes,
the
it would.
last
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
If she's already attuned to it, does she have to tune to it again?
Probably.
Yeah.
We did kind of think.
It's
with
magic
it.
heavy. So, I mean, I would say that through the experience in general, you realize that your first experience with it was very dangerous. It's very arcane in nature. You get the feeling that over time, you almost earn the trust of the machine. Like it did, like there's still a lot to learn about it.
Mhm.
What'd you get?
10.
10?
Not bad, not good.
You narrow it down to one of the maps. At the base of the Sundered Peak Mountains, there is a small lake called Glacial Lake. It is kind of known for being a hunter's location where people will often go out there.
Where on the map would that be so I can
I would say it would be. Let me pull up my notes. Sorry, I thought I had those up.
Glacial Lake.
Right where the N and the S is on the Sunder Peak Mountains in the curvature.
Inverness.
See where
And
the
on the left side or the right side?
I'm not really sure how to respond to there's only one place the N and S could be. In general, that's the area. You didn't roll high enough to get more specific than that.
Where did you say?
So wherever you see the letters N and S in the range, at the very end of the word mountain,
Yes.
mountains,
Is it like, okay, so there's on this side of the mountains or
Oh,
on
that's
this
down
side?
by
of the
Shaheed.
mountains? No, you're saying where the lake is.
it's hard to know. The-
It's on the lake.
in,
It's on
in
the map.
general, there's the name of a lake on there that kind of sits in between those two peaks,
Uh-huh.
but it sits amongst the mountains.
On the map, so it's in the mountains.
It's in the mountains.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I was like, it's on the right side of the mountains.
No, it's just in the mountains as a representation.
It's all the way down that. It's basically where we started our trip.
Uh-huh.
So
Down by-
it's nowhere near Fort Hadron.
No, it's much further south.
I just thought about something. It was like I'm gonna take the helmet and do a little bit private study
Okay.
of it. And I never had a chance to look over with my monocle with it.
That's
I
fair.
want to see if I can find some more runes or instructions on it.
I like the shawarma order took like 30 minutes to cancel. It all took like 5 seconds to get here. That's hysterical.
Should have just stuck with the Mickey D's.
So do I roll anything?
Hold on, I'm looking at my notes for that. So while they're studying the maps and trying to come up with some kind of geolocation for you to be able to focus on, you take the moment to go find a quiet portion of the stone grove, a sitting room attached to the downstairs area. It's, you know, the stone grove is always being refurbished and constantly being worked on. And so you find one of the little sitting rooms and you take some time with it. Give me an Arcana check for starters as you begin to kind of see if you can reattune to it and get a feeling for the magic's effect.
10.
10? It's obviously not magic you've traditionally been familiar with. I mean, when you were up in the underground region of the Shadow Moon, clearly the original caretakers of all of this have had a lot more experience with these heavy arcane-backed kind of things. The only thing you specifically remember is that when you were in the ship, you put on the helmet and you attuned. What limited magical nature you possessed was being used by a means of communicating with the ship. That's how you guided it and dealt with it. You get the feeling that the more arcane or the more magically based you are, the more powerful you are with spells or the idea of magic, probably easier for the bearer of the helmet.
Great. Should I try it?
It almost knocked you out the first time you tried it, though.
Which staffs did it use? But I also didn't have the necklace on.
You didn't.
It was putting the necklace on that made it easier.
Yeah.
Almost as if the necklace and the ship are bound to the control
And
conditions.
I was wearing the necklace and the helmet. We haven't.
Feel better? Did your hypoglycemia come back or go away?
My hangry's gone.
We haven't had her try the helmet on yet.
Right, but
I haven't
I've
tried
been
it
putting
either.
points into arcane.
Oh, okay.
Ask around
That's
about
why-
Long Thing when they're doing this.
You head downstairs in the kitchen. You find Avaste kind of doing some prep and preservation of foods like she normally does. Long Thing. Yes. She came in yesterday, said that she would be gone for a few days and be back. Mentioned something about running some errands.
All right.
I'm going to pull her in the room with me and let her know what I found.
Okay. What are you eating over there?
Jimmy, I'll share it.
After a night of drinking, Belladonna comes in with churros and a smile. I know you literally have to slide it all the way.
As a pusher. You push up.
You push it.
That's not
Okay.
true.
That's a brownie.
I'm going to start investigating it. With the necklace on.
Okay.
Get the necklace and put the necklace on.
Okay. Give me a Arcana check as you begin to examine the helmet.
And I'm going to look at her through my eyelash to see if it changes.
You said
Magically.
Arcana?
Yes.
Are they still all together? The hipsters? Oh, separate.
They're separate.
I think each of you have one.
We had 4 of the
It's
5.
Cora, me, and
I think I had
me.
one.
Have one.
And then Bella has
The
one.
that I had
The one you had was the one that allowed
to help the helmet work.
the helmet to finally be released from its arcane grip.
23.
But,
23? You test a couple theories. The first one is it's not reactive outside of the ship. The second one is, to Scarlett's concern, the more in tune with arcane magic that you are, it seems likely the easier it is to manage the ship. And that's when you begin to realize, after studying the helmet and thinking about the trip, chances are, considering who is currently lying in a comatose state over at the temple, that this is a thing designed for wizards.
I think we actually have Grumble by this point.
Oh, that's right. He's being taken care of by you guys. That's right. I forgot about that. So
Accepted responsibility for
Yeah.
the body. So Zafora could kill him later.
No one's checked on him recently.
The staff has. No one said anything. They're like, oh shit, we
We
left
put
our.
one on guard for that very reason.
Have they or have that guard been paid off?
I thought you were. I was like, I thought you put him in like one of the web.
does any remember who Grumble's real name is?
Yes.
Yeah, hold on. It's
Gotta do this every now and then, see if they're taking notes.
it is what's his face's brother.
Yeah.
Whose brother?
Gregorian von Weisman.
Good Garrett.
Wesson?
Rickwood.
Oh my gosh.
And then
Henry.
there's Henry von Weisman. His brother. Where am I
I
lying?
went back too far. I was looking at
I
notes of
love your
these.
note taking. Just makes you want to run over there and kiss your McDonald's lips.
Kiss my
Yeah.
greasy McDonald's.
Gregorian Wiseman. Wiseman.
Von Weisman.
Wiseman.
I'm just powering through these real quick.
I'm gonna highlight that so
curious.
it's easier to find maybe.
Does anybody remember the name of the wizard that you let go
Yep.
after
Yeah,
the
what's his face?
UFO detonated?
I don't know
Starts with
that.
a T. Let me get a
Was
second.
it Tegan?
No,
No.
it's not Tegan.
I like how Carol is going back like 50
Trendo.
pages.
Trendo.
Told you it started with a T.
Trendo.
Mm-hmm.
Trendo.
Or at least
Tegan.
that's what he said he
Same
was.
difference.
But I wasn't there, so I didn't keep those notes.
Yeah.
I find it
Wasn't
easier
the,
to find my
wasn't that the
notes
guy
in a
that took
book
Jerry?
because I can just flip to the page. It's
No,
harder.
one of the
to
Golden
find.
Ravens took Jerry.
Just
Or
like this.
Jerry took Golden Raven.
She says, she
Well,
shakes
they call me-
it in front of me and goes.
So yeah, you get the notion that this device
Neither.
has been made specifically for wizards. And that it's been made specifically of a certain caliber of magic that the less inclined you are magically, the more dangerous it is to manage the ship. The more
Well, I've been-
magically inclined you are, then perhaps it gets easier to manage the
Yeah,
ship.
one more.
I've been playing with
You don't need to hear about what you've been playing with.
You know, since this looks a little bit like I'm eating bark, I feel a little cannibalistic right now. Ironically.
well, considering you did just eat a people.
No, that just makes me feel
I don't think
cannibalistic at all.
is a corpse really a people at that point?
It's rotting flesh that needs to be
Again, in
cleaned
the
up.
pig.
Didn't you eat like 3 corpses?
So far, yes. I have one buried in the ground because you only get one at a time.
I thought cannibals ate their victims alive.
No,
We're all very in agreement.
that's
here.
only in the movies. We normally eat them dead.
I mean, that one tartar dude tastes great.
Yeah,
It's fresher that way.
it's a salt and pepper.
Of course,
Maybe
in most
I remember.
in most cannibalistic storylines, they cut off pieces at a time to keep the meat fresh.
Mhm.
On a happier note,
Based on science,
But
there's a lot of
we're in
caloric calories in the human
Yeah.
body. It can feed an entire village.
except you get the shakes.
No, you
As long as
just
you
gotta
don't
eat the brain.
I don't know, but didn't you know that's
Here,
the
here.
best part from Hannibal Lecter? He's like, don't you
Sweet
want
cheeks.
monkey brain?
Well, if you don't mind getting those shakes,
With some fava beans
Mm.
and a nice Chianti.
So while you two are studying the helmet, you found out that Long Fang is currently on an errand. The rest of you are studying the maps. Give me a wisdom check.
I'm gonna go toss Long Fang's room.
Room?
Room.
Room. Okay. This is room.
That's another dirty 20.
You manage. Now give me sleight of hand with advantage because you rolled dirty 20.
Oh, those are. Let's see. Sleight of hand? 16.
16. You managed to create a map.
Okay.
And it's a zoom in to that part of the mountain range. You handcraft out the glacial lake at the base of the mountains. And you transcribe from the book that there's a forested region nearby called the Ice Forest. And then there's a series of roadways that come and go, but they haven't been used for a long time. It feels like what you're looking for might be along the lake shore. That's when you realize that the lake might be an old volcanic rim that collapsed many, many years ago through the readings and writings that you've gathered from the notes.
And it's probably all destroyed after the volcanic activity we had earlier in the region.
Not within the last year.
I mean, we were down in that area, and then we did that whole exploding thing on the way.
Well, that was a different area. That wasn't that area.
It's just like I know there was another mountain that just exploded. Oops.
That was the other
Just
thing.
stop giving him ideas.
Sorry, I have doom in my brain. I can't help it. I need more sunlight. I've been eating too many corpses lately.
And stop eating the corpses.
They're so magical.
Zephora,
Thank you.
the door is locked.
All right. Then I will. Go back downstairs. I'm just kidding.
You are the ultimate meta player.
So I was gonna say check it for traps.
By the way, Carla, your potions, I think, are up on that shelf.
okay.
There should be at least 2 of them up there.
Okay.
I let my daughter decorate all the potion bottles out, so I'm not sure where they all are. Are you checking the traps?
Wow. 16.
16? There is a very simple kind of snare trap on it. If anyone tried to lockpick it or whatever, it would cause the tumblers to collapse in and the lock would become broken. Not too unusual for the kind of business that Longfang's in.
Yeah.
So you disarm it. Give me a sleight of hand.
23.
23. You actually managed to pull out a small glass vial of acid. It was probably when that would break, it would cause the lock to, fuse together and be non-functional. So you now have a single dose of acid in a little glass vial. You kind of recover the springs and the wires that she used. So you have some components for a lock if you choose to try to make one or trap one.
Okay.
And her door kind of just opens in your hand.
All right.
Look inside her room. It's a twin bed, just like a twin, kind of almost like a cross between like a barracks bed, very simple, rudimentary. Foot locker that's open and empty at the foot of her bed. There's a simple reading table with 2 chairs. It's one of the internal quarters, so there's no open window. There is a very small hole for a skylight to be able to come in. Looking around, there's like a kind of like just a cabinet that the doors are open. There's folded clothes up in it. And looking around, give me an investigation check. See if you notice anything out of place.
8.
8. Foot locker's open. Some of her clothes are still here in the cabinet. Hard to know. Everything looks perfectly normal as far as you can tell. Nothing's been turned. Nothing's a mess. It's like she quickly just packed up some kit and went to go run her errands.
Okay.
Which may not be that unusual considering that you asked her to do some research and discovery work. And what was that again that you asked her to do? Do you remember?
Didn't you ask her to investigate somebody?
Fucking notes, man.
Fucking notes. Check my fucking
Keep going, go on with everyone else. It's gonna be a while.
motherfucking notes. Where'd Calista go?
She walked out. I don't know why. She didn't say anything. She just left.
She didn't take her phone.
Probably potty break.
Maybe pee. So, the map has been made. You and Jade had discovered that the more powerful in magic you are, the easier it is to control the ship. Guys, Bella and everyone else packed up their kit and their gear for the journey out to. Oh, you went to go get the paralyzed dog.
Oh, that's right.
Did your mom go home?
Yeah.
I had her.
Because you're just going to go home with me?
Yeah.
Well, how are you going to get home?
I just said yes.
Oh, I thought I heard nah. Nah and yeah. You know, the lazy person's response.
So how did she get hurt?
She was supposed to go get rid of that thing that I took care of outside the Golden Ravens.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Whoopsie. I made a poopsie. Okay.
Is he not lying down? Yeah, for some reason, he just gradually stopped walking.
Really?
And he's been on meds, and unfortunately, we're trying to find him a nice little convalescent home for someone to take him in. So he can't function at the ranch. The ranch will,
Eat him up.
yeah, it will.
When did this start happening?
A month ago?
Does his hip have a placement?
No. He's paralyzed. Yeah, he's paralyzed. And his muscles have atrophied. So that means that he's got no nerves sending pulses to his muscles anymore. Because even when we sleep, our nervous systems are constantly working and sending pulses and signals out. Hmm?
Did he got poisoned by something?
No, he'd be
No.
dead if
Nerve
he was
damage?
poisoned.
Damage to the spinal column.
Yeah. He probably, healers get very rambunctious. He probably left off something or ran into something and probably damaged his spinal cord down there, ruptured a disc. And unfortunately, they want a lot of money to be able to confirm all that. Like 13 grand for an MRI.
Ouch.
No, 13 grand is the MRI plus surgery.
Correct.
Still, ouch.
You ready, babe?
Yeah.
Sure. Did you take him potty?
I took him potty just before we started.
Okay. Just checking. Because he's been kind of just peeing where he sits now, right? But you heard you mention that to Brandon.
No, he's gone in the car on
Hmm.
the way.
Gotcha. So, what are you guys doing?
I want to take the helmet and the necklace out to the ship.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? You
Let's-
gathered up their equipment. They've made the map. So, you have the location.
Oh, first,
I want to actually do a scout around the house to make sure nobody's been watching the house.
Give me perception as you wander the perimeter of the
okay.
grounds.
Before I go out to
Yes,
the
I
grounds
do.
then, because I don't want to go out there with, so she mentioned that. I'm going to go talk to Devastae,
Devastating.
and
Oh my god. Oh my
Is it a
god.
heroic failure?
That's two ones.
How do you roll 2 1s and
How do
take?
you
That's why I was
I've done
gonna
worse.
try and help her, do the same thing.
Do you not remember that one shot that I played Warlock and
No, I
rolled-
remember. Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
So that makes
yeah, I'm going
it
to
a
go talk
4.
to her and let her know that we're going to be going.
How long are you gonna be gone, dear?
We're not sure yet. We're
You
just-
do plan on coming back, though.
We do plan on coming back.
Yes, good to hear. I will of course keep the house in order. Perhaps you could leave an extra stipend
Yeah, I
in
was
case there's
gonna leave the
emergencies. And,
stipend. I was going to leave.
a couple hundred gold should suffice.
200 gold.
yeah, because
Okay.
their
If
monthly
there
wage
is anything
for you.
you need,
Another 45 gold.
Yeah, I wrote that at the top of the page.
So- We will expect you in a week, maybe.
Yeah, not bad.
Very well. If anybody calls upon you, I will let them know that you are busy
Yes.
and that they couldn't expect a, a return of invitation in a week or so. Very good. Okay. Well, good luck. Don't die.
I'm talking to the plants before we leave.
Per usual. What'd you get? Ones and ones?
Once and
As far as you can tell, everything's fine.
Oh, I wouldn't
He
do
was
the same.
helping me.
What'd you get?
Uh, 30, 20.
As far as you can tell, no sign of any kind of intrusion or interruptions. Rodrigo and the three sentries kind of are doing their rounds currently, and as far as you can tell, everything seems fine.
I'm telling my my plans to make sure that nobody that isn't part of the usual staff, they just wrap them up for us, until we get back. If it's
There's
staff-
dozens of these little spritelings looking up at you, going like this. They don't have heads; it's just a stem.
Well, I mean, I got the
you know.
grasping vine thing going on too.
Yeah, okay, you got it. And their little leaves going like this. Their little
Don't attack
tendril
the staff
ends.
members. Stay safe.
Meanwhile, there's a partially buried corpse behind them as they're listening to you talk
Feel
to
free
them.
to start digesting him.
They rub their hands and turn and go back to digging the hole.
They're having a
Fertilizer.
conversation in the background.
Yes.
So with that, all of you gather on the ship, taking the camouflage and all the kind of
Just
like
kind of like open the door, the like, yeah, we don't make it all off. We just kind of make an opening so we can fly the ship out.
Covertly enter it.
as you covertly enter the hole, and it dilates when it opens. So there's no hatch or door.
That would have been really
There's
hard
so
to
many
deal with if I
innuendos
died.
right for you.
As we enter the orifice,
We could get to the underdock by going through the orifice. Wait,
Into
the orifice?
Sphincter.
Yes.
So as you guys one by one go into the ship, as soon as the helmet, and who's going to be wearing the helmet?
Wait a minute, though. Are you getting magic?
She's got stronger magic than me.
Are you a cleric?
No, I'm not a cleric.
Oh,
Because we don't have
okay. You
shit
don't
like
have.
that.
Okay.
She's a cleric,
Right.
technically.
Her magic would be divine.
Mine is kind of,
Or
I mean, I would have no idea how to.
out of those
describe
three
it, but
schools you were describing earlier,
Didn't you get
she's
knocked on
divine.
your ass
she's
last time you
arcane,
put it
I
and
on?
I'm
did
major.
have my ass
Correct.
Last time I put it on. But I didn't have the necklace on.
Oh, okay.
And as soon as you step onto the ship, the helmet begins to vibrate and hum. The crystal and kind of like illusionary panels start to come to life.
You're gonna like PTSD from saying it now, right?
I might have.
Are
some
the necklaces responding as well?
Just like before.
And
The only difference is your necklace has become inert because all that did was hold the helmet in place. That necklace allowed the helmet to be retrieved. The other four necklaces, well, it's a good point. Give me an insight check on that as you realize the necklaces are active.
Put all of them on.
I
It
rolled a
severs your
20.
head.
Nice.
14.
14?
Are we paying attention to this?
22.
If you want to.
Natty 20.
You get the gist of there was obviously a necklace for him,
18.
and the necklace for the three, Female.
Perception.
although all uniquely different. Clearly, the necklaces allowed you to function in the underground portion of the fortress of the Shadow Moon. It also allowed you to enter and exit the hatch as well as gain access. So you get the feeling that these necklaces are bound to all of those areas as if to allow things to work and allow the magic of the places to work. The connection to this ship is purely the helmet and the magical nature of the helmet. In fact, as you slip on the helmet, it conforms to your form and just almost like,
Oh, around her ears.
yeah,
It
around
doesn't
your
like one of those-
ears, everything just conforms perfectly for you to wear it.
it does have ears.
I need you to give me an intelligence
My
save,
ears hang low.
please.
Is it around the ears? Or like back, like this?
Why did I waste my 20?
Yeah. Oh, is it insight? I think I get advantage.
No.
Because I rolled the one, it was 18, but
18?
insight's different.
Okay, 18 for your intelligence save. As you're watching them do this, the moment the helmet goes active, you watch as the podium comes up from the center, the little hand stations that allow her to steer and manipulate the controls of the contraption. 3 seats on the right, 3 seats on the left. Turn around, come up out of the bottom, kind of just forming into the seats. The ship itself still remains like sealed. There's no windows. There's no way to see anything except for what she can see in the helmet. From within the helmet, your mental acuity attaches itself to the ship. And that's when you realize that the surface of the exterior of the ship is almost like a two-way looking glass for you. So while no one else can see anything, you're standing in the middle of the ship and everything's translucent. Everything. And your control manipulation are these illusionary kind of spell configurations around you. How many spell slots do you get per day at this point?
Wasn't it like 7?
1, 2, 3,
You said
4,
7 at one
5,
point.
6, 7.
Yeah. So 1 is gone.
Like
Burn.
permanently or just
No,
for
you
today?
just burn a slot for the day to manage and manipulate the controls of the ship.
So what spell are you not doing?
For every
today?
foot you fly, it's a spell slot. Oh wait, we went 3 feet today.
Now you guys can all feel the kind of vibration of the ship.
We don't have spell slots though.
And then eventually you have slots, you're just not level.
Oh, what? How many of my hit dice do I get back? 'Cause I had to use my hit dice before our long rest.
You get all of them because we long rest.
All of you begin to feel the ship rise.
So I was trying to go out and not ruin our.
As soon as it starts to rise, you watch as a panel. You see the arcane signet for invisibility. You turn it, the ship goes invisible. Strike another slot. And now the invisible form of the wasp ship is hovering over the stone grove. You then watch as a navigational panel.
Great. I'm gonna take
Comes
all
up.
my spell slots, guys.
Navigational panel comes up. It's all illusionary. It's all
We
translucent.
just bolt you into the ship.
While everyone else sees solidity and form, for you, you see through everything because you're more arcane endowed. You have arcane magic as a specialty. So you're aware of this.
I'm just gonna sit quietly in my seat and contemplate Bixby's death grip in my
Okay.
brain.
Yeah. I mean, you could. The ship is crushed.
I'm just contemplating.
The
If
end.
somebody sees
All
like
right, buddy. Thanks for being here.
somebody sees a tomato can fall from the sky.
I'm not using it. I'm just contemplating it in my mind.
Give me an intelligence save.
Okay. I'm not very smart.
She needs to be restrained.
I'm gonna restrain her brain.
Intelligence.
Put that
save.
helmet
You
on her.
have those arc.
18. 8. Sorry. Not
8?
8. Yeah.
You feel the idea of it, but you can't really control, and you don't see the
Just tell me what it is.
arcane kind of like.
Oh, yeah.
You also don't have the componentry for it,
I'm not trying to do it. I'm just contemplating
right?
it.
But you're contemplating it is activating in your mind. your mind kind of releases it, and we'll say you burn a spell slot
Interesting.
without any effect. So now you've brought up the navigation panel. You see a sheet of paper come up in front of you. It's parchment. And see someone's holding up a map, and it's Willa.
One of my finds.
Yeah, she's good.
Looking at the paper, looking at the navigation, looking at the paper, looking at the navigation, and
You turn and turn. Give me a intelligence check. You begin to manipulate the navigational illusion.
17.
Once again, dialing backwards and backwards, the illusion going up and up and up until everything's looking down at the entire Othanzia region. And then you reshift over towards the map marks where that lake is, and you feel it all move towards there. And you watch as another panel comes up. That's the glyph. It's almost like a wind glyph.
Okay.
You twist it. You execute the arcane grip. Go ahead and cross off another slot. And all of you just feel like an instant of momentum. Just an instant. Yeah, but none of this worked for her. You guys were lucky that you made it back alive.
She's not trying to be invisible too.
And with that, you suddenly, there's a moment of 0G.
So it's the ridiculous.
I'm looking
mode.
outside.
And as you're looking through the translucent,
Ridiculous driving.
while none of you can see anything, there are these huge peaks in front of you. Down below, a small lake, a forested region.
My people.
Wait,
You go
did we
back
just
to
like
anytime
stop
you
from
want.
ridiculous
I'm just
to like
looking at
instant
the-
stop and then flew forward?
Looking at the ship.
No, you went 0G.
Oh,
So the inertia kept you from going forward, and the seats.
Looking at the ship, I'm making sure we're not a whale
or flower pot.
or a flower pot. Okay. So
Is Calista done talking yet? I'm sorry. Take a chapter from Mara's book. I roll a d20.
42.
I'm now going to hibernation until you come in.
All right. I'm looking for hunting watch.
You forgot to get a towel.
What's this thing?
As you focus down on the ridges of the lake, you actually see quite a few homes, estates. But as you kind of like pan in and down and closer, bringing the invisible ship slightly down, there's an area of the lakeshore, maybe about a mile long. There's close to a dozen estates, and they all look dilapidated, abandoned. The one that was described by Aunt Tegan, you focus in on maybe about 4 homes. Give me perception with advantage because you are in the ship.
Is there dead
Burn a
bodies
spell
walking
slot.
around in the forest?
I don't want to burn a spell slot.
Burn another spell slot. Burn 5 more spell slots.
There he goes.
You want to
There
land?
he goes. Yeah, it's you, Rachel, because he was wide awake till you got here.
Oh.
You're a snooze.
16.
16?
You guys want some picnic?
That's
Based on the overall description that she described, it looks like it's the third. There's a 3-story home closest to the lake. There is a dock, but it looks like it's half sunk into the water. You can see the gardens have all overgrown and kind of grown up into the property and up and over onto the
I'm
roof.
not touching those.
All of them seem to be in kind of equal condition.
Okay. But it looks like the third one.
Looks like you found the one that you're looking for.
I'm gonna land us
You got the board.
kind of trying to find an inconspicuous place.
Give me a survival check. See if you can find a spot to set it down.
20, 30, 20.
320. As you land it, you land in an area in between 2 of the old rundown homes where it's kind of heavily overgrown with ivy and trees. You set it down just kind of inside that area. As soon as it hits the ground, the invisibility drops. You feel the inertia kind of stop. The hand post drop down, and everything falls away, and you're back inside, and you lift off the helmet.
Oh, hat hair.
Cat hair.
Give me another intelligence save as you break the connection.
If we look outside, do we see like free?
Oh,
19?
19. Okay.
Plus 3?
Yeah.
19?
A little bit of a nosebleed. Nothing too bad.
Yeah, the fight you had with yourself in a tomb was fine.
what's that in your ear? Your brain.
I can assure you it's not.
It's something. Anything other than brain matter.
I love when she does that face. That's my favorite face. See, you just did it. You keep doing it, it just gets funnier.
Okay, so I'm gonna hand the helmet to Morrow to put on his belt because it looks better on his belt.
Shrinks down and latches to his belt.
Because it just looks like a trinket on your belt.
As all of you disembark, it's still chilly this far east. It's amazing that you've done a 2 weeks journey in less than 10 minutes.
I didn't
Just
say
zipped
anything to you guys.
across the
I always
horizon.
sit down and I'm like, okay. I don't say anything. I just walk to the door.
I'm gonna talk to the ivy.
This Willa spills out, and all of you spill out
We open
into
And we
a
are
very
not where we
wild and overgrown lakeshore community that, for the most part, just kind of looks abandoned. You can see many kind of 2-3 story homes, but the one that you come closest to is the one that seems to match the description of Tegan's estate. And it's the closest to the lakeshore. You can see that there was once a dock that's half submerged. Everyone give me perception checks as you begin to look around the area.
Ooh, natural 20.
16.
14.
Plus.
Low.
Unnatural 16.
Perception, you said?
Mm-hmm.
23.
What'd you get?
14.
14. What'd you get?
16.
16. 23.
Yeah, 20 plus 4.
Or
Look at that. You're talking to the stone and I'm talking to the plants.
Okay.
We're getting this place mapped out.
So
Very
it's-
close to 220.
it's got all the signs that it's been abandoned. It's been abandoned for a while.
Longer than a year?
Feels like longer than a year.
Doesn't look like something scared anybody away, does it?
Looking around, it just feels like a place
Might have
that
been
was a little too close to the Devil's Grin, and maybe it just lost its kind of like it lost its shine. Like
There's no
people just stopped
protection
coming.
or-
And that's the interesting part. None of the buildings look damaged. They just look dilapidated. Like over time, things have grown into them, grown on top of them. Gardens have gone wild. The forest has been gradually encroaching into this region. The rise and fall of the lakeshore kind of showing signs of erosion and periods of flooding. Just feels like a place that just hasn't seen any activity for a long time.
So is that nobody's been maintaining
Let's
anything.
recap the
Yeah.
other side.
Hey, I'm here.
Like a dozen spritlings.
All
It only
right.
kills weeds.
Yeah, I'm talking to the plants. Like, well, sorry for landing on you. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're
Maybe a
okay.
good idea to talk
We're
to
fine.
The local foliage.
We understand that, people have to walk on us. It's okay.
Just gonna make sure you're all right.
Yeah. It's been a long time since we've seen anybody out here.
Yeah, I was actually gonna wonder about that. We're actually looking for a place that was only supposed to be abandoned a year ago, maybe.
No. Nothing out here like that.
Really? Nobody's out here? Interesting. We were in the wrong place. That's why I needed more maps.
Willa,
Like
how
two of the
long
flowers just kind of wilt under your
Oh.
anger.
Willa, how long do they say it's been empty?
Hey guys, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the shopkeeper.
Oh, okay. That's good. I don't know what a shopkeeper is, but it's better them than me.
Yeah, they're liars, anyways.
You don't finish a lot of sentences with questions. Anyways, go ahead.
I was just wondering, do you know how long this place has been abandoned? When was the last time you saw tramplers?
Don't know time.
Tramplers.
You gotta
How many
figure out what
seasons?
their life
Seasons?
cycle is at.
We know seasons. 100.
100 seasons. Let's see, 4 seasons divided by
Well, she may not have been here.
100 would give it about 25. Yeah.
About 25 years, as it's described by the natural environment around you. Go pull your roots out.
They just
Well,
ask
these
how many
buildings are in better
winters.
condition than I would expect 25 years. After
So
you
you
guys
have to
have
do the
got a piece of them.
The only thing living there is single hobbit that's just spraying down ferrets.
And that would definitely be way before the bridge across the Devil's Grin was built. That was only completed about a year ago.
So this was almost like a hidden kind of bit. Because if nobody was going this way for any reason, why is this here at all?
Maybe there was somebody who founded it.
Disadvantage all night.
Disadvantage on you, disadvantage
Disadvantage
on
on
Cal.
you.
Maybe we should have had a monk.
E.
That's when I did multi-class into
Yeah.
also
A monkey monk.
Monkey
A
monk.
monkey monk.
I'm gonna use my
Monkey monk and the funky
my,
bunch.
my perception glass and
Okay.
kind of get a visual of the area to see if I can sense any magic.
Yeah, you do.
Give me investigation with that. With advantage.
Is there golden raven symbols all over this place?
Not that you can see. Once again, nature just
20. So 23.
23. Nature just described that no one's been here for 25 years.
Who's over here?
Little people,
Short people, tall people, magic people.
meat bags. I don't.
Yeah. They all kind of look the same to me too.
Well, Will is communing with nature, and these two are doing something. And yeah, Scarlett's got her opaque glass out, and she's looking around.
I really need to make this into a
It's-
model.
There's one thing that both you and Morrow pick up on. There's no sounds of wildlife. No birds, no insects,
It's an illusion.
nothing. It's eerily quiet. You can hear the water and the breeze kind of lapping against the lakeshore, but then you notice no fish are jumping. Not that there are insects to land on the water. You don't see any ducks or waterfowl. You don't see any birds flying above. It's a little strange. It's definitely a little odd.
Obviously.
With your lens up, the house that Jade described as the one belonging to Tegan, there's definitely an aura coming from that one. There's something magical down in its basement.
Found the house, guys.
There's something strange about all this. So somebody might have been lying. Maybe they've been looking for her longer than
There's no lying in D&D. There's just miscommunication.
They said she'd been dead for over a year, but maybe not.
She could have been sick for 25 or 24 and hadn't come out.
Guys, there's no birds.
You have to
Or they
take into
lied.
Consideration the plants lived out.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing I said. They plan to eat everything.
But nothing's eating the plants, which means no deer, there's no other wildlife eating your plants.
That's,
I'm very happy about this. I'd do the same.
But that's not natural.
Sure it is.
it means there's something. Usually means there's something bad around.
That means there's a predator somewhere around.
Of course, the plants are the predator.
Yeah, except
How do you
we don't
enjoy
want to
plants?
be the prey.
Have you guys been enjoying your diet of wandering squirrels, humans, and deer?
ask your friends if they've seen any other animals around.
So, the flesh creatures. Have you seen any of them?
No, not for a while now.
Did you eat them? I find them delicious.
No, we don't eat.
They're good fertilizer.
Sure.
Has there been a creature that's been scaring things away?
You're talking to plants.
I'm talking to you. You're talking to me.
I just no creatures. Not sure where this conversation's going because I don't really have a grasp of
You don't have a grasp.
Of communicate. I don't know what you are looking for. It's not here though.
That's okay. I was just
There's no people here. Okay.
I'm not-
The flowers wilt again.
Oh, there could be.
God dang it, Willow, what are you saying to these things? They're just dying.
They're just tired of my conversation. That's
You're
happening.
scaring them to
To
death.
death.
Possible.
I'm not scared.
Okay, guys, what do we want to do?
Search the house.
Pick up the one that's like after I did.
Make sure we check for traps.
Oh, most definitely. There's definitely some kind of ward or something on the house. Now it's a matter of finding the right entrance.
I would like to dunk my head into the water.
Walk over to the edge of the lake and you kind of arc your head over, and
Probably
you guys all
acid
hear
or something.
It's gonna hurt.
You reach out with your sense of nature. Nothing alive in this lake
What do I
anywhere.
see in my
Just
way of not seeing.
a vast lake, water that's got no algae in it.
There's no
Just
algae either.
That's
nothing.
really bad.
It's just a sandy bottom and like a bit of an osmosis bubble line from like the bubbles that are kind of emanating from the sand bottom. Other than that, nothing.
So wait, there
Is
is
it
air.
hot?
Wait, there's air escaping.
You can see little bubbles kind of coming up out of the sandy bottom.
We did say it was like a
It's a
volcano.
volcano.
Oh, we already knew that though.
But when was the last
What's the
time
water
you were
taste like?
arrested?
I don't know. She's over there. You guys are way over there. So
I had my head in the water. I would
Yeah.
taste it without, what it
I
tastes
mean,
like.
you don't really have a true sense of taste in general. Your
But water.
body, your kind of like your organic body absorbs a pretty high concentration of salt.
A lot of salt in that.
In a lake?
Salt water.
In a lake.
Probably.
You know they call Salt Lake for a reason. Salt Lake.
Because there is access to the ocean
Salt and
from
sea.
Salt Lake.
Or there's also inland sea.
Salt Lake does not have access to the ocean.
You're thinking the
Middle of
Salton
Utah.
Sea, and that one doesn't either.
Remnants from when the entire planet was covered in water, so many tales are told.
Kind of pull your head out of the water. Try it on.
So we go
Come
through.
I do need you to make a Constitution save, please.
Constitution save. Interesting. Let's move this one out of the way. That's
25.
13.
13. You don't feel great. It's a bit toxic. And you are currently poisoned. You just took 26 points of poison damage.
Nobody touched the lake.
Oh,
Do our leaves start falling off?
They get wilty.
Willa, you're wilting.
The water doesn't taste right. Don't drink it.
Go over, take out that.
Willa, don't touch the water.
I can touch poison.
Actually, I do have poison resistance.
It's like
So you can have it.
Okay, so it was 26.
Yep.
So,
So 13.
so I get 13.
You're still poisoned,
Mhm.
but you take half the damage.
This reason carefully.
Yeah, I mean, you clearly smell the smell of sulfur. You dip the vial in, and that's when you notice like a thin haze, a greenish yellow haze kind of sitting above the water line. But it's barely noticeable, and it's only noticeable to you because after Willa complained of its toxicity, you kind of now you can see it. This slight yellow vapor just evaporating off the surface of the lake.
I'm going to slowly be taking that poison in my system and putting it into my storage for transfer. poisoning other things later.
You are resistance. You can certainly give that a try if you want to.
Try and
That
milk
way
you
she can
just.
do her fart cloud. I mean,
Her cloud kill.
cloud kill.
Wait. Let me see your finger. Okay.
So it's still only mid morning.
Yes.
It's not that late.
We're gonna tally ho.
Oh.
Gonna tally up all the hoes.
Yep. Let's tally 'em up.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't work that way.
The 3-story
She does.
structure, the main story is definitely run down and overgrown with vines and the garden path and the garden area. The plants do seem to be doing surprisingly well, considering the lake is toxic. You're not really sure where maybe the natural rains in springtime is still enough to keep the plants going, but it's a little strange. I'm not used to having this much room.
You guys could have given me some warning about the water.
The first story has a wraparound porch all the way around it. The doors are broken in and all the windows are broken in because the vines and all the plants have grown through over time. You can see a dilapidated stairwell that leads up to the second floor porch, but the third floor is more of like maybe a smaller of the 3 stories and probably maybe where the main bedroom might be to kind of overlook the lake and down into the view.
Make sure we close the door to the wasp.
Okay.
I don't want
Closes.
plants. I don't want plants invading it.
Hey guys, can you protect this thing? Make sure nobody gets into it till we get back.
You're asking about the plants.
Sure, we don't know what it is, but we'll do our best.
Thanks.
Sure,
That's great.
sure.
Thanks for the warning about the water, by the way.
But you didn't ask about the water, so how can I warn you about it?
You do a solid, man.
No, water's liquid.
Yeah. I'm tough so.
Well, yeah, that's why we don't go near it. Probably should have asked first.
You guys are growing up right next to it.
Or not. We're over here. Water's over there. Like all the grass leans that way.
Another
Like
wheels.
the edge of the grass and flowers and where like the garden space is that's overgrown, it's just gravel all the way down to the lake shore.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's check the porch.
I'm going to try and talk to the dead wood. It doesn't work.
I'm with you. We need to investigate the top floor and work our way down.
Wait.
Kind of what I was thinking. We know we want to go in at the bottom, but I think we should start from the top so we can kind of get an idea of the place before we actually enter the vault.
I could check for traps.
We know where we need to go, like
How much do I
Fool
see
around.
into?
wandering all over.
Well, we were also
The doors and
given
windows are broken into by plants.
anything
Exactly. How
that
much can I
there
see
might be
into
something of
it?
value in one of the other rooms that is basically ours.
I mean, we have time. We can
Yeah.
go through all the rooms.
They aren't expecting us back for a couple of weeks.
Let's go kill
Right.
this thing.
It's supposed to take 2 weeks to get here and 2 weeks to get back.
Let's go disable this
And
thing,
it's
and
as
then
long
we
as
can go.
the helmet
No.
The
and
survivors can go searching
I think
around.
we should clear the house first.
I
That
think
way
we
we
need
don't
to
have
clear the
anything
house first.
come behind us.
You've been outvoted.
Oh, the
before.
grass will protect us.
I don't think the grass will protect us. It'll just get trampled by whatever's behind us.
There's nothing organic.
Yeah, we were sent after a metal mechanical device, not an organic.
She only mentioned the one.
She only mentioned one. That doesn't mean there's only one.
Which was why we need to investigate.
It could have made babies in the last 25 years.
If it is sentient.
Is there aspirin in this ship?
Would you like some poison water?
I know, not you sleeping cocoon long enough. 'Cause I feel like
Willa
there's something-
aid. It's exactly what I did.
Will aid.
It's white willow bark.
Oh, God. My intense dagger-like headache's gone now.
It's white willow bark.
Ah, now I can concentrate.
Will aid.
It's an offshoot of Goodberry.
Working on it.
All right.
So what's the plan?
I'll
How are we gonna get up to the second or third story?
There is a stairway.
To the second.
Grows vines. There are vines.
I'm gonna investigate with my iPad again, see if I can find,
I'm looking.
you know, access points.
I mean, you'd already looked at kind of the house in general, which denoted at least some kind of magical property somewhere down below in the basement level, which kind of matches the description at least.
I don't think we
But
have
nothing
to
else.
go.
I mean, we can always climb up there.
Yeah. We got enough rope. I'm sure we can find an access point
But why do we have to go to the third story?
to investigate.
Just to make sure nothing's gonna come down behind us.
But we don't have to.
Because if there's some stairs,
But there might be something down below.
There's some dilapidated stairs on the north side that lead up to the second patio area, but there's no stairs on the outside that go up to the third floor.
So there has to be an
There's mine.
access point to get to the third point.
We can go in at the bottom floor.
Yeah.
It's the whole.
So let's find the front door or the back door. Do we want to split up in two teams and have a back door team and a front door team?
Right, right.
I don't think we should double team this one. I think we should go in all in the one portal.
Together.
We should go in the front.
Things always go wrong when we split up.
What do you mean? We don't want a back door team? Alright. Okay. Let's all
She
go.
started it.
I did.
She always does.
Starts
Front door or the
climbing-
back door, guys?
Starts
Shall we
climbing
flip
the
a
vines.
roll a dice? Flip a coin?
Let's flip.
Just stop.
1 through 10, 10 through 11 through 20. Back.
Are there windows?
I
I
just
feel like I'm
go
trapped in
front
an
door.
episode of
wait,
Big
wait.
Bang Theory.
Tell me when I roll towards you.
Yeah, we know who Penny is.
What am I doing?
1 through 10 front door, 11 through 20 back door.
Front door it is.
I was going to say, was there any third story
I would've
windows?
done either.
We're randomly rolling to see what door we go in.
Yes.
I told you, D&D.
Okay, which door
doors are
looks
the
better
hardest
to go
part.
into?
Well, I mean, there's
No, waiting's the hardest part.
two front doors that have been pushed in. And you can see all the plants have grown into the interior. Kind of circling around the backside, there is a back door that's been knocked in. I said knocked in that time, you motherfucker. The windows are all broken in. The shutters have been ripped off, like
Nice that they're
oh,
broken in.
just kind of like falling off the walls. I mean, there's plenty of access points. So far right now.
Okay, we're inside. Okay, stop with the portals and the holes and the orifices. We're inside. We are inside the room. I'm walking in the front door.
All right, so we get inside.
Are there any spider
You
webs?
come inside.
Inside.
Hey, man. There's somebody drank. We drank something. Water here or something. It's 3 denied door dashes that got me.
All right, so we're gonna front door it.
Who's going first?
Morrow.
You got outvoted.
I'm not going any door.
I volunteer.
So Mara with Willa in tow, you start walking up towards
Yeah.
the overgrown garden path and up onto the first part of the steps of the porch.
I pull out my axe just to kind of like sweep everything
Yeah.
around.
Your very first step on the porch, kind of like first step, your foot goes right through,
I grab him.
and it just under your weight, you realize the wood's kind of rotted. It's almost like it's brittle. And like you're trying to get up onto the porch, but your feet are just passing through the wood planks like they're just nothing.
I'm glad we didn't try the stairs.
Wow, I wonder if it's toxic to plants. It doesn't like wood.
And you can't really get purchased up on the porch because every time you try to, the planks just keep breaking and just kind of coming apart
Is
as
there
you
any
try
way
to.
to walk along the braces?
You crawl. You distribute your weight. But like walking on.
I mean, looking at the patio area in front of the main door, it's when you begin to realize all the wood is like it's almost like balsa wood now. It's like incredibly kind of like dried out and desiccated.
How high is the
Porch is,
porch?
I mean, it's 5 steps up to the porch, so it's about a 4 foot tall kind of like
So I
foundation
can pretty
around
much
it.
like walk straight through the porch into the house.
Yeah, like you guys are now watching Marrow kind of rip out all the rotted wood, the porch section, and he gets up to where the doorway is, and it's his chest at the height of the foundation, like the stone
Probably
foundation.
his belly button.
He's not that tall. He's only 7 feet tall.
But I mean, I can see into the bottom of the doorway.
Yeah, you like as you look inside, give me a perception check.
How's the wood on the floor in there?
Probably not.
Well, 5.
5. Pretty dark. There's light leaking in through all the different openings, but it just you could see the remains of the interior of a house that's just been gradually overcome by vines and just lots and
Right.
lots of vegetative growth.
How's the floor? Is it sturdy or is it balsa wood too?
I think it's balsa wood, but I don't.
Yeah, just dried out wood. I mean, you're at the edge of the foundation. You kind of reach inside, and
Can I
your hand
see-
goes like right through the planking, but it doesn't go all the way through. It like goes through the planking, and then there's stone and dirt underneath the plank floor. So you get the feeling this foundation is backfilled in with gravel, dirt, and rock, and then they put a floor in, which might make sense if there's a basement here.
Let's see if there's a door going down to the basement around from the outside of the house.
Okay.
So, gonna search the outside of the house,
Give me an
For a
investigation
cellar-
check
for a
as we
cellar
get
door.
to look around.
looking for a basement door.
Look better. Investigation.
I'm investigating these vines to see if they're sturdy enough. I'm gonna ask them.
I got a dirty 20.
Can I climb?
Give me a nature check.
Maybe we could just burn the house down, and then what'll be left is the basement. We can go down.
That's
there.
a natural 20.
Oh,
I got a dirty
sounds like
20.
a
Dirty 20?
walk.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, but if
Or-
anything were to trigger
Okay,
the
so
wall,
you two are walking the
creature comes
perimeter
out.
of the house. The vines seem strong and
Creature to come out.
surprisingly resilient. You kind of reach out with your form and give them a good tug, and they kind of move a bit on their own accord.
Creepy.
Some of the leaves kind of fold back and out,
How you guys doing?
and there's a vibration notion. But other than that, I mean,
So how you guys doing as I'm climbing up on them?
you start climbing up. Give me athletics. As you start climbing up the vine.
They're
to the second
moving on
floor.
their own and you're still climbing up them?
They're my people.
Yes,
That's
they are. Let them embrace you.
22.
22. You're pulling yourself up, and
I'm talking to him as I'm going up.
yeah, there's no connection. So you two are rounding as you get near the back of the building structure, where you saw the door that was broken in the back, and more broken windows, and more vines and vegetation growing inward into the interior of the house.
These, my brothers here are very quiet. They're not talking.
And you can hear Willa yell that from as she's climbing up to the second story. As you two get around to the back and start looking at the undergrowth of the back area of the house, you notice that clumps of vegetation all out in the back, all of the kind of root systems are growing in the direction of the house. Like they're all winding towards the interior of the house.
Small question.
Towards the top or towards the bottom?
The first floor.
Something's attracting the roots.
Would this,
Or something's growing out from the house?
would this quiet from the vines be similar to that tree that I keep trying to talk to?
No. The reason why you can give me an insight check, see if you figure out why the vines aren't communicating through your natural kind of like affinity.
That's another natural 20.
Jesus.
That's 3 tonight, guys. I'm gonna be terrible when the fight breaks out.
I mean, it's possible the vines aren't natural.
Not natural vines. These guys, they might not be real vines.
No one's living here anymore. We just burn it.
How are they not real?
They might be like the thing that we're supposed to be turning off.
Mechanical vines?
They aren't talking to me.
I'm gonna knock on one of the vines.
As you like touch one of the vines, all the leaves kind of move on their own. They vibrate up.
What the fuck? Okay, those leaves moved on their own. I mean, I'm used to Willa doing that, but
And all my
and it vibrated kind of like a spider web.
Bella reaches out. All the leaves start curling away. There's like a harmonic thrum of vibration leading up and into the interior of the house.
Does anyone live on this house anymore? Can we just burn these instead? Will I get off the tree?
I'm gonna
try
try
and
and
trim on vines.
There's still the vines.
take one of my force arrows and light the fire, tip fire, and try and burn the vine.
As you reach out, you hear this ripping sound as the plant behind you pulls itself out of the ground, and the vines just start curling into the interior of the house. Just as soon as you get a flame near it.
Does it like the fire? Does it not like
No,
the
but
fire?
Running away from the fire. Into the house.
So there's
No.
something in the house that's going to protect them.
Or the rest of it is in the house.
Do we need the thing alive or dead? Could we just set the house on fire?
Didn't the late lady say that the thing had multiple arms?
Uh-huh.
6. Up to 6 arms?
And that was maybe 25 years ago.
This was also, there was a lot of things she said that she was not aware of. So this could be another factor of one of the things that she
This is
doesn't
not
know
so much a
about.
great idea. We don't have to go in there and fight things. We just set the house on fire.
Well, we're up to get for the basement.
And we
You
don't
guys are
have
setting the house on
What are you
fire.
doing,
I'm not
Sephora?
going to
I just imagine she's standing there watching all of you do this with her arms crossed.
Can I peek through a window?
Yeah, you're up high enough now, and you can hear them doing something behind the house. You look inside, and there's huge mounds of vegetation that's grown up into the floorboards of the second story.
More of the same?
No, these appear to have more like these strange looking red and yellow flowers kind of blossoming in the interior space.
Do they talk? Hello?
Kind of like no connection with the vine, and you watch as you kind of, now that you're close enough, you hello, both telepathically, which kind of
Is
verbally
plant-
happens at the same time,
Yeah, plant things, yeah.
and all the flowers just go, and like this yellow haze of pollen floats up. I need you to make a con save, please.
Knew it.
It becomes part of the plant.
That is a
Flowers aren't
7.
spring.
A 7.
Never the good ones.
Now give me a wisdom save. As you inhale the particulates of the cloud.
Oh,
Wisdom
Location,
save
location,
is 17.
Okay.
She doesn't even breathe.
Okay.
I breathe carbon dioxide. I'm a plant.
So you turn back. I would say only Scarlet would have noticed. Like you were looking around and you could see where Willow's like staring inside. And then you kind of look around and then you glance. She's not up there anymore. You don't see her.
Oh, Carolyn, you're gonna have to roll up a new character. I don't know how many times we can save you.
This time,
All right, guys, where did Willa go?
I think I want to be a living rock.
You want to be her boulder? That's a nice boulder.
No. She would just be a boulder. She'd be the boulder beholder.
or
Minus
over the shoulder
D6.
boulder.
You could say
Forever.
You could say I was a
The
little
boulder
too bold with this conversation.
Beholder.
Too bold.
That sounds terrifying.
Just remember.
Just a rock with a bunch of
So I'd say Morrow and Sephora are nearest you because he's at the front of the building. And you could hear Scarlet yell out. She doesn't see Willa anymore. So the three of you look to where she was, and she's not up there anymore. You two are in the back. You just experienced these vines rolling into the house after you threatened them with fire. They're like uprooted out of the soil and rolled away. Just the section that was threatened by the fire. All the other ones are out there.
So 17 wasn't good enough to save me.
Doesn't like fire. No, you probably needed a 20.
17
For which save?
for the wisdom.
Oh no, not after your first save was pretty bad because the DC went up after that, unfortunately.
Okay, so we're gonna run over to where she was
And the
looking for.
the 5 of you are standing there, and where the vine goes up to the second floor, there's just this strange haze of pollen coming out
I
of the
don't
second floor
like that.
window,
Everyone cover your
and no sign of
faces.
Willa.
Don't breathe in that pollen.
Take out. No.
So
Because
he's right at the edge of the door. Are you still right at the edge of the door?
Yeah, he's like he tore through the patio, tore through the porch and everything, and he's at the foundation looking in to the downstairs. It's dark and it's hard to see what's in there.
Is it wood in there too?
There's some
Yeah,
floorboards in there.
yeah, described it there, wood, but it kind of
It crumbled too.
compresses down. It doesn't really crumble away like it does everywhere else.
We didn't see a
Light on
basement door.
fire.
I mean, not on the outside of the house. No,
Okay.
no storm cellar entrance or exterior entrance that you can see.
Right.
Find the kitchen.
Go to the front of the house and go in that hole.
where's Willa?
All right. Is there?
Disappeared. Unless we want to try and go up the.
I
there
become
any-
one
vines?
with
any
mechanical
plants
vines.
where I'm at, or I get
There's mounds of vegetation inside.
Can I try and do like a knowledge nature or survival or something like that to see if I recognize the plant?
Give me a nature check.
Plants don't like fire, guys. Should have practiced fire.
Is that flame still going?
No, because I would have
Okay.
just called the arrow.
It's considered a magical flame too.
That's funny.
Yeah, 21 took that 20.
All right. I mean, you're not exactly a botanist by any stretch of the imagination, but none of it looks familiar to you. In fact, it looks strange.
But a natural nature. Like I've seen a lot of stuff in the wilds.
Yeah, this doesn't look like anything you've seen in the
Also,
wilds.
Doesn't like fire. Like I'll show you. I'll pull out another one and go to another.
And this time you're on the front of the house.
Animated. Yeah.
So when she pulls out her arrow to invoke the arcane flame, just as she invokes it, there's like suddenly it gets brighter and hotter than it did before,
Oh, shit.
as it seems to and then burn itself out quite quickly. And now y'all can, those of you out front can smell like methane.
Oh. Do you think that came from the lake? Or came from the house?
Okay, if I become one with the evil thing, can I totally attack? It'd be super fun. I'll do really good. I'll be really evil. It'll be
Can you
great.
not give him ideas? He doesn't need help.
I'm just saying, if there's a chance that I can be evil, it'll be
You're
great.
rolling up another character.
Kinda
We're
hard.
leaving you here. All right, let's put it on the
So we're kinda into the
You
point
may not
where
have enough spell slots to go home today.
We'll nuke it from the. We'll nuke it from
right
the.
now.
Yeah, right now.
We'll nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be safe.
There's no inheritance. Sorry, it was gone.
It was eaten by the plant monster.
Sorry, guys, we couldn't find the house.
It just slowly started burning. Can't imagine why.
I'm going.
All we found was a ruin.
I'm gonna
should
go
not
over
burn
and-
the house down because there's nothing.
I'm just gonna jump and stand on his shoulder so I can look in
You're
there.
kind of an expert in that sort of stuff, right?
Okay. You kind of climb up Morrow's back and get yourself up on his shoulders. And you kind of kneel on one shoulder and you got your face and you're kind of looking inside.
I smell wonderful, by the way.
Perception check. Or investigation because you are taking
Oh,
your
nat
time.
20, baby.
What is with all the fucking nat 20s
Nat
today?
20.
New room, man.
Jesus.
New room. It's the
New room.
It's
Could
the
be
room.
new room 5. 23?
Yeah. With a nat 20.
Yeah, looking what looked like vegetation like mounding up. It looks like there's some kind of form in the middle of the downstairs. And now you can see Willa. she's inverted upside down.
Mhm.
You can't see her like her upper torso. You just kind of see her back and her lower body is kind of halfway sticking out of the mound
Mhm.
as she's just gradually being absorbed into it. Like her form is slowly being absorbed into it.
Grab her, grab
And
her, grab her,
you're
grab her,
watching
grab her.
as all the little vegetative mounds are kind of slowly crawling closer towards the center of this gelatinous kind of vegetative trunk that's just now slowly absorbing Willa.
Yeah, we should get in there.
Yeah.
Let's see. How far away
Did
is
you
it?
tell us that?
It's a
Yeah,
good
I'm
75
relaying
feet in front of you.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds like we're running in, guys.
And now like Maro's like, oh yeah, I didn't see that before. As the light kind of it shifts and undulates a bit and shifts and the light comes through.
I'm climbing in.
Am I
Okay.
conscious or
We're all
unconscious?
going in.
You're conscious, but you don't feel like you're in control of your wits.
Paralyzed.
You feel like something has fooled you into stepping into the space, and you feel pleasantly relieved. Like what's happening to you feels fine, like normal.
It's
Natural.
okay.
Beware the
Not getting
puppies.
absorbed.
Take 32 points of acid damage from the effect.
32.
Yep.
That means I'm going to have to do math.
So what are you guys doing?
I ran in. I'm climbing in.
Okay.
We're all
You
gonna
climb in over Maro and Sephora, or are you coming in
I've
through the
got
back?
climb speed, so I'm climbing in.
But how? How are you getting in?
Oh, around Zephyr. I mean, around Maro.
Okay. You get to the foundation, you pull yourself up, and as you do, you feel the boards in the interior kind of collapse under your weight and big billows of dust. And then as you get halfway in, you watch as all these mounds of plants, petals start to erupt from the mounds.
Covered our faces
Because I was like, put on some.
when we saw the
Sure.
spores.
Well, the flowers have all erupted, but there's no spores yet. Just the petals have opened.
But I was saying, when we were outside and we saw the dust pollen coming out,
This
we
is
covered our
fine.
faces.
It's okay.
At least Bella and I had covered our
And you can
faces.
see like Willa's like lower half
I'll go
is
behind
kind of
you.
Why-
twitching. So
why-
she's still alive as far as you
So
can
why-
tell.
So is it still like she's up there and the
I
mounds
just
underneath her and
run
it's
with
going like that?
nature, man.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm gonna cast Cloud of Daggers.
Okay. You bring the cloud into effect, and it starts kind of just swirling around the form. And as it, you just watch as everything slams into the gelatinous form. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Why is it always? I hate D.
We're
They should.
little like
If
this.
any D&D does anything at all, they should get rid of D4s.
D4s are great. They're pointy. They're worse than
Of course, I don't think they're going to do
Legos
a
that you
D&D
step
one
on them?
anymore.
And Jack.
I know I've heard that they're thinking of scrapping the whole
Yeah.
thing.
why?
Well, I mean, come on. Oh, Dungeon Masters can't do double damage. I mean, come
Yeah,
on,
they're
man.
doing a lot of silly. They're doing some pretty silly stuff.
I love the thought of.
Hey, Rip Artist, how are you?
Hi.
So 12 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty shitty roll. You're suddenly falling out of the center mass onto the ground. You could see these burns and striations like across her form. You kind of shake yourself out of the stupor that you were in. And from your vantage point, you're lying on the ground after getting like ejected from this organic form. You're now looking up at the underside of the second floor ceiling, like, well, the first floor ceiling, the second floor, right? So you're lying there like that. And that's when you watch as dozens of eyes start opening and the vines start dropping from above. And then all of you watch as the whole house. First one leg.
my gosh, another Baba Yaga. Why does that
And
keep
then
coming up
a
in my
third
mind?
leg. And from the edge of halfway in, you watch as a mouth opens up, this huge purple tongue kind of spills out the front of the house, and you feel the house like crawling away. You're half hanging out of the doorway. Will is still inside.
It's
The
a
rest of you are
giant
watching
mimic.
you think this house start walking.
Which way is it walking?
It's walking towards the lake shore.
Get out of the
Get out of the house!
It's a-
I'm
it's a-
gonna try and grab Lilith quick. Throw me a vine.
I can just jump, right?
You're currently prone on the ground. I
Okay.
mean, you could try to get up and jump out the doorway.
Like, try and stretch for her.
Vine comes out. You grab onto it. Give me
Fall out.
athletics as you do
I'm
that.
gonna fall out of the house.
I'm gonna
I think
try
I
and
weigh more than she does.
catch him.
That cloud of daggers is still.
She's
I'm dense.
she's a bit dense,
I
and
know,
I don't mean it
right?
in the negative way.
That cloud of daggers is still in effect, so if it does
Yeah,
damage,
it's shredding into it and shredding into it. How long does it last for? A minute?
let's see. I had it up. It's concentration up to 1 minute.
Okay, so you're following it, and you could feel that. So you can roll damage 9 more times
Okay. Just all in a row?
Giant,
Correct.
Okay.
as you're like following it.
Athletics or acrobatics? Because I'm dex based, so
You can do acrobatics, and that's fine.
that's 22.
22?
22.
Shit, I didn't hear that. My bad.
Let's not fall into the water.
She comes spilling out with you. The two of you. You can see Zephora is like concentrating and following it as it gets nearer to the water line.
I want to throw alchemy fire at it. Alchemist's fire.
Okay,
Can
you
I
reach into
not
your
be
pouch.
in it when that happens?
You're not in it.
Okay.
Yeah, you got pulled out, and
And
you
Marlo's
crack
clear,
open
right?
you kind of crack open the canister, and you like toss it in the direction of the house. Give me a D20 and add your dex modifier.
I'm very light.
Break your concentration.
Okay.
15.
15. So Sephora's holding the concentration, manipulating the clouds of daggers and shredding it on the inside. And you feel like that's what's caused its confusion. It feels the pain. It knows something's happening. It's trying to get away. You arc and you throw the alchemy fire, and it slams into the corner of the house and like just catches like one edge of one of the legs, these strange organic leg that's protruded out of the house. And it spills across it. 2d6 fire damage, please. So you're doing that. Sephora's doing that. You've been pulled out by Jade. The three of you are back where the house had picked up and started walking away.
10.
And now you're looking down into a basement. You
Okay.
watch as a nearby wall collapses in on itself after it moves. And you begin to hear like this weird clicking noise, this whirring sound beginning to spin up.
It's been activated.
It's been activated.
Can
I'm
I,
glad we were able
Oh,
to
I'm going to
plan
take
that
one
out.
of my alchemy fire fires.
Can I use Wither and Bloom on it? I want to heal a little bit.
Yeah, sure. You kind of arc your magic towards it. What's the save for that?
The Wither and Bloom is a
Yeah, this creature fails all dex saves, which I think is what Cloud of Dagger is. I think that's dex based. So yeah, it auto fails dex save.
It's just a 10-foot radius. Each creature must make a Constitution save.
I have a 4 + 6, which is a 10.
That will
You
not-
cause it to wither and rot. Go ahead and roll damage, and you begin to feel some of that healing life tap kind of arc back towards you.
That's
Parkour. Bail out. Parkour. Parkour.
Is 8 damage, and I can use unspit hit die. How many? 1. I think. Yeah, I can spit when my hit die to try and heal.
Okay.
A little bit.
10 points damage to the
Okay.
alchemist fire.
And it is currently on fire.
Yes.
And the fire's like. But you notice the closer it gets to the lake, it gets brighter. see the air around it
Everybody
kind of
duck.
sparking off of it as well.
We really want to
You
get
get the
into the
Maything.
basement, guys.
Is the
And
basement?
like as you guys are doing all this,
Isn't the basement still back there?
98.
Yeah.
it's exposed. You see Bella, Maro, and Scarlet looking at something that's slowly rising out of the basement. And you hear clacking and whirring sounds as this 18-foot tall contraption
18
starts
feet.
pulling itself out of the basement.
That was 8 feet.
There are numerous arms pulling it out, but it's rusted and pitted, and you can see that the front is just an amalgamation of like organic material and metallurgy that's been kind of like just melded into it,
extremely
and it's
fascinated
You need
by
to
pulling
get our
itself
ass back to this ship.
it's pulling itself out,
I really
and then you
wanna absorb
hear
this
the
thing,
coin
guys.
spill as it pulls itself out of the basement. You just hear
Coins.
thousands of coins spill out of something and just fill up the entire basement.
Oh,
I really want to
We'll
absorb
be
this thing.
set for life if we get this thing.
Okay. All right. So 92 points of damage
Okay.
for whatever that's worth.
To a house.
And then that stops the
Probably a
concentration.
walking
Okay.
As that drops, you look over your shoulder to see this metal contraption pull itself out of the basement. A buzzsaw comes whirring out. A flamethrower kind of blasts in front of it. And the whole this like the round ball kind of that it sits on kind of grinds at the edge of the foundation. I need a deck save from you because you are right at the foundation.
All right, and I can see it. Right?
Yep.
Well, I was on his shoulder.
I need a deck save from you as well.
You're sitting on the shoulder.
Uh-huh.
Because he was concentrating on the spell as the creature was running away.
Wow, I actually got better on the second one.
19.
19. You spill off of Maro's shoulders and you tumble backwards, but land on your feet and get away from the slowly collapsing wall, the foundation being blown outbound. 22. Yeah, you throws a 4 off your back. You tumble off to your right and you kind of belly roll away from the wall that's like collapsing down towards you. Bella, you're nearby, but Willa and Jade are further away. Anything you want to try and do?
Yeah, because we fell out of the house as it was walking away.
No, I'm just not like I'm just seeing this monstrous thing come out, coin spilling. I'm just not like, what do we do? Does it have like eyes or anything? Is it looking at anything? Is it?
You see like a strange small round top to its larger round bottom.
So
These spindly like wire like arm leg things are pulling it up, kind of helping it out of the basement.
But it's still attached to something on the bottom.
Give me perception or investigation as you stare at it.
Let's go with yes. Okay, so
I know what I'm gonna do.
18. Okay. As you're kind of backing away from it, watching this thing coming out of the basement, you could see that there's a bit of like this strange kind of wire arc of metal coming off of its top of its form. And then something swings around from the backside of it. And you could see this desiccated, small, gnomish body attached to this spindle. And you just watch as this ragdoll like gnomish corpse that's kind of being swung by this thing. And you look up to see its face, and it's like, it looks a lot like Tegan, but it looks male in form. And the thing just, and the corpse that's in it, like holding it out, it comes out and it's like cluttering and clacking and making all these strange sounds just as the house reaches the lakeshore.
Everybody duck.
And there's this massive blinding, it's like the area of methane just goes off, ruptures.
got the shield
Um,
front.
Can I duck or something?
I need everyone to make deck saves, please.
Oh, we wanted to jump into the basement.
Do I see this one?
Zephyr would be close enough for that. Mara would be close enough for that. You're not quite close enough because you're
I'm not
halfway
close
with
enough, but I am going to jump on top of Willa.
Okay.
12.
If I jump
12?
on top of Willa, does that give her advantage?
it. She's pretty good size as it is.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just trying to block the flames from her.
well, you can certainly. This doesn't feel like a traditional explosion of
Okay.
flame. For all intents and purposes, it feels like blue flame. Just this sudden eruption of
gotta-
gathering gas at the
It's
lake
burned and
shore.
it's gone.
I gotta do one for Ivory. You said what? What's it?
Oh, you brought Ivory with you?
Why would I have brought-
Well, because you never mentioned her the entire time that you got on the ship,
She's
so I
just
just
hanging
assumed
out.
you left it behind.
Never
So
leaves
that's fine.
Ivory behind. She's just there.
Fine, she's on the wall.
Caged.
You can leave her in the
She's
wasp. That's
caged at
fine.
home.
She's protecting the wall.
She's in the kennel.
She's all
What save did you say? Dex?
Dex.
in the arms of the angel starts playing.
What'd you get?
15.
What'd you get?
19, you can't do that.
What'd you get?
20.
30, 20. What'd you get?
You owe
Already
me
told you.
$20,000.
Oh, that's right.
19.
19.
Is this an effect I can see?
Yes, you can see it.
16.
16. As all of you feel the instant shear of flame and heat, just almost like a bubble popping outward, you can feel it roast into your backs. Everybody who rolled a 19 or higher saved.
Oh
You'll
my
take
God.
half of
How many have
26 points of fire
you- and I
damage.
double that.
Just say my tiny shield.
If you didn't
Yeah.
save against that 19, then you take 26 points.
Okay, but I was covering half of her at
You were-
least.
Mhm.
I double fire damage.
Wait, how much is
Yeah,
it?
that's 40. That's 52 points of
But I
fire
was
damage to
covering
you.
half of her at least.
How much is half? How much is half?
13.
13. Oh.
I am almost down, guys.
And you are currently on fire. And
I'm
the flame wave slams into the contraption and rocks it backwards. You watch as the corpse that's like hanging from the spindle is now on fire. It like catches on fire immediately. The machine starts to rock sporadically, and like it suddenly began, like all of its weapons start going off in different directions. Its spindle legs kept pulling it up and further, and it's like it's randomly moving in different directions, and then it just settles onto the ground. It twitches as you watch the spindle holding the gnomish corpse just kind of settle, and then it just emoliates the corpse.
This is twice in one day.
Emily, like,
Yeah, just kind of.
Okay. I'm patting Willa out.
If this is twice in as many days I've been
Yeah,
caught
you
on
quickly
fire.
like run over to Willa.
Well, I was next to her.
Yeah, you just pat out the flame, so she's no longer taking fire damage.
I'm gonna cast my mage hand because not meta or anything. But I don't want to get close to that thing, and I'm gonna have it open the door and take the gem out.
Okay. From the way it collapsed, give me perception as you try to find where that panel might be.
I'm gonna run over to Willa and I'm
Oh,
gonna be like, cure wounds.
Okay. Go ahead.
So 13.
Leave Willa to Bella, and I'm going to over.
No sign of the panel, the corrosion and the pitting and the rust. It's like the mage can't quite find the knob that was described. Like either maybe it's broken off and the seam of the panel is kind of like hidden.
Okay.
I'm going to go investigate the robot.
Yeah, me too.
The robot. How dare you?
The mechanical beast.
The automaton.
Should I?
And I'll use my little thing
DM's backhand.
so I can try to look for the panel too.
Okay. So give me an investigation check with advantage for you because you got the glass out. What are you doing? Okay.
So
Well, I guess I
cure
throw
wounds
my
at
mage
one
hand
first.
away.
It's not a cantrip?
I think you have to use
Dirty 20.
Maybe I should have put you two together.
We're the worst.
I got a 15.
15. What'd you get? 6? Okay. 30-20. As you guys watch where Zephora is like pointing at where she thinks it is, while Bella is over quickly healing up Willa, trying to get her back on her feet. The three of you start looking all over this thing, trying to figure out where this panel is, how do we get into the Power Stone? How do we get this Power Stone out of its interior and finally get this thing deactivated, just in case? As you do that, you notice one of the legs starts twitching. Another leg starts twitching. The whole form suddenly arcs upward and thrusts itself forward and stumbles forward. You watch as one of its buzzsaw contraptions comes out, just waving around randomly. And that's where we're going to finish tonight. Because when we come back next week, we'll have to roll for initiative.
Is it next week because she's not going to be here?
Oh, that's right.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh, now I'm going to forget where we're at.
If you guys want, I can do it on Discord. I'll have to do it through my phone. But
No.
No.
Shit.
We're not going to do that fucking shit.
you guys do it for her.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
I had my setup though. I had my tablet and I had my phone and I had my headphones.
Yeah, but it was a pain in the ass.
It really
It
was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
No, we're going to take next Monday off. But we'll be here next Monday. We're going to have our gaming Monday night. We're going to pick a random game. We're going to set up around the table. And
Let's get ready for a rousing game of Scrabble.
rousing game of word separator.
Yeah,
With my +5, I know. With my +5 Vorpal weapon of Vorpalness.
Okay, so
I would never
because-
ever
no.
play Scrabble against
because
that.
my uncle of my backstory, of my 200-page backstory, my uncle is an artificer. I know exactly how to remove everything on these monsters.
Did you actually listen to your uncle?
That was really good.
Right, dude?
That brings me back to 85 in the basement.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
If you don't let me do it, I'm not going to play anymore, Jason.
Oh,
I only have 2 players. Okay, you can do it. Right. Remember that stupid
I
shit?
set out ding dongs.
You remember your shit that your friends would pull on you? Okay,
Friends?
we're going to kill everyone in the village of Hamlet. Remember the village of Hamlet? Dude, like everybody would try to wipe it out.
Great. Oh yeah. That was the whole purpose for why it
No, it was
existed.
Murder Hoboville, man.
Yeah, it really was.
Because if they didn't want you to do it, they wouldn't tell you that the old crone that lives next door has 6 copper pieces hidden in a bucket under her floorboards. Right? Like, why would you need to know that if it's just a character that they're going to, contact? And the old crone's got hit points. Okay? Like 3 fucking hit points. Like, why would you need to know that?
Yeah, you could.
I had parties wipe out, like go in there, forget about the people on the Borderlands. They'll get a waste Hamlet,
That
dude.
was a dog.
Everybody.
Yeah, I would collect those puppies. It's
All right, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight. We are out of here. Be safe, be kind, and don't forget to play a game. It's lots of fun. First game in the new studio.
Yeah.
We will be back here tomorrow night
We wasted all our
with
D20s.
the World of Kalisha and the Shattered Kingdoms, my homebrew game, and my homebrew world. All my games are technically homebrew, but this is a homebrew world that I've been working on for a while. So, session 1 tomorrow of a brand new campaign tomorrow night at 6:30ish, kind of.
Don't tell me. 6:30.
You know, 6:30.
Be here or be square.
You know, we'll try to be on by 6:30. It's always it's Cheeto Puffs and Coca-Cola and Jolt soda.
Oh, believe me, I know Bill. He'll be
Thanks, Rip Artist. Hopefully, we'll see you again tomorrow night. Everyone else. Bye.
Play a game. Be safe. Play a game.
Don't eat that.